do want to record, but I really want to finish this cheesecake.
Well, maybe you should be like a good fucking podcaster and not be a fucking total shitbag.
I'm not a shitbag. I'm here recording.
With food in your mouth. You're not even done. Look at that big ass last piece. So you can either eat it in one bite to get done with it quickly, or you can take small bites so that you don't smack your fucking mouth all disgustingly all over.
I'm not going to gorge myself on a gigantic piece of cheesecake for no reason. That's wasteful.
Well, the reason is because it's a fucking piece of cheesecake and it's delicious.
Yes, but that's why you savor it.
That's why you wait to hit the record button until after you're done eating.
Well, my finger slipped.
You fucking scumbag.
I'm not a scumbag.
Welcome to Scumbag Cast.
No. These are not nicknames we're going to give our podcast.
Scumcast.
Now I'm going to drink.
Cheesecast.
I'm going to watch my cheesecake, though.
Oh, God. Welcome to fucking cheese balls.
Did you wash your hands before we started this?
No. I never wash my hands.
Oh.
Ever.
2017. I never wash my hands.
Never, ever.
Please, everyone, run with that one.
I don't use toilet paper either. I just wipe it with my hand. And I wipe it on the stall.
You know, you shouldn't say that as if you're making fun of that because wait. Well, I don't know about the... I don't know.
You think I was serious?
I don't know about the wiping it on a stall part, but...
I wipe it on the doorknob of the stall. Where the lock is, the little slidey lock thing, I always rub my hand straight across that.
There are cultures that use their hand.
No, there's cultures all over that fucking doorknob now. It's fucking... Just the people that do wash their hands, they touch that doorknob after they wash them, and bam, they got my butt germs.
And bam, that's how it hits them.
That's how it hits them. It's like that thing. It just.
Have you ever touched something and it went bam?
Yes.
Let's not elaborate on that one, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the end of time. I'm Michael,
and I'm Adam,
and today. We're just kind of laid back, no clothes on, a little relaxed atmosphere. We are a no hands washing, no clothes atmosphere today.
Yep.
You know, this does shit for the podcast because it's audio.
I'm pretty sure this smell's never going to come out of your couch.
Well.
I thought it was a fart. I'm sorry.
I thought
it was a fart. It is a little more.
Let's take a pause and let's recalculate the degeneracy of this podcast so far. The ticker says that we are not even 3 minutes into this session.
And we've
already got eating on the podcast, drinking on the podcast. I don't wash my hands ever. I shit on your couch. There's cultures on the handle. People wipe their hands with their hands. They wipe their ass with their hands. This is what not even 3 minutes.
We have outdone ourselves.
Now imagine somebody who's like, man, I fucking love Final Fantasy
Let me look at this new podcast.
Let me see what they talk about. Nope.
Rip.
Nope. You lied. You said they talk about Mass Effect. They was wiping their hands on stalls.
They was talking about some nasty shit.
Sucking on culture juice.
This nasty cast. Oh my God.
Just get you a big old mouthful of culture.
Ooh.
Right in your mouth.
Ooh. You hold it in there long enough, it becomes yogurt.
That's what. Whoa! That's okay. So, whoa! Red flag. We're taking a left. I am taking that steering wheel and jerking it left.
You need to just hit the brake. Oh God. What happened to us?
I'm
not sure.
I don't know. All I did was eat cheesecake. You just took it all over the place. I thought this is our levels. I'm thinking I'm gonna be this renegade maverick on the podcast. I'm gonna eat a piece of cheesecake, and you're like, huh, small time. Adam, what you been doing this last week?
Oh man,
gaming related or otherwise?
Gaming related or I got my car fixed. Yay!
Oh, thank God.
Yay! It only cost me like fucking $600.
How's it feel to be back in actual humanity? Actually be a man again?
Well, considering that I never stopped being a man, and that you've been assuming my gender this entire time.
You really want to go into a gender assumption? You want to roll this back?
You want to crank this to 2000? Skip straight past 11.
If you... all right, so you got your car fixed. What else?
Let's see. I actually went back and played a little Fallout.
The original Fallout?
No. Fallout 4. I reinstalled it. I quit playing it ever since the, before, I got the game on launch. I beat the fuck out of it, and then I put it down, never played it again.
Yeah.
And, in the meantime, there have been like 2 or 3, maybe 4 fucking expansions, big ass expansions that I haven't tried. So I decided to play that a little bit. Just mess around. And this time I'm using fucking console commands to cheat like a son of a bitch.
You know, speaking of Fallout 4 and you stopping and playing it, I think this is a revelation I've come across even recently with playing Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I also had it when I played The Witcher 3.
Oh.
Like, I beat Witcher 3, I beast moded that shit for hundreds of hours, at least 150, something in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
But when I beat it, I was like, I thought about going back and playing it. I did go back and playing expansion, so there's an extra, I don't know, 15-ish, 20 hours, who knows.
Yeah.
But when I got done, I was like, man, no.
Yeah, it's a little bit too daunting. Same thing with Fallout 4.
And see, that's what I think games like Fallout 4, Breath of the Wild, when you dump.
Number one RPG of all time, Skyrim.
Yeah, when you dump hundreds of hours into these games and then you stop and then somebody asks you if you're going to go back and play it and you're like, no, it's not that you just invested hundreds of hours into these games.
Yeah.
So it's not that.
Well, a good game should bring you back for more.
Yeah, it should. But it's not the fact that it's a bad game. It's that it, like the word exactly, it was daunting.
Yeah.
That is a long time to be just narrow focused.
Here's the thing. You know what you could do to instantly give Breath of the Wild more replay value? Multiple endings.
Yeah.
You could instantly be like, all right, well, I just beat the fuck out of it that way. And, like, have them be secret endings.
Yeah.
Don't have the developer come out and be like, well, we're going to have 2 or 3 very obvious options. You don't want fucking IGN or whatever fucking hack fucking magazine you paid to fucking advertise your shit.
Give me Homer.
Give all the damn, give all the, you know, the clues and stuff about, oh, well, this is going to have 6 different endings. No, I don't want you to figure out how many endings they're going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why a game like Star Citizen intrigues me so much when they're like, yeah, we're going to give expansions out there. We're just going to, you know, every 2 or 3 months, we're just going to have like 20, 30 new planets. Yeah. We're not going to tell you where they are. We're not going to tell you what's going to happen. You just go find them. Maybe they're out there. Maybe they're not. Who knows?
Right?
How awesome would that be? Day 1 patch releases and you're out there flying around and you just stumble across a planet Adam. I found it. I was the first one. You're like, there was no words, there was no verbiage for it, no map given. You were just playing the game and discovered it. That's awesome.
And it's gonna be Planet Adam, and then, you know, Big Dick Continent on fucking Badass Mountain.
You're just gonna terraform a continent to look like a dick.
Yep.
This is the possibilities of Star Citizen.
Star Citizen.
Terraforming.
Yeah, I don't actually think they've ever said it. That's like the one thing they haven't promised to do is terraform.
Yeah.
They did talk about, I mean, oh man, I've shown, there are some sick, fucking nasty videos out of 3.0 Star Citizen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And they're showing like the different, you know, little, like you can just pick up a cup and just walk around with it and stuff like that. Every little object in the world is interactable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's fucking, oh man.
Yeah, I remember the last video you showed me, I think after last podcast, it looks, the first time I saw a video for it was like 3 years ago when you first showed it to me. And now I mean, it's such a different looking game now.
Yeah.
But an improvement as in a different game.
You want to know another game that's coming out? We've talked about it a couple of times, but Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I think you put a post on the.
I put a post up on the Facebook page, and oh man, that game. That was a long video, so I doubt everybody got a chance to watch it all the way through. But oh man.
Well, hell, if they made it through a 5-hour podcast, maybe
Jesus.
They might have saw the length of the Metro video and said, psst, I can handle this.
Man, if they just used the skip Michael button, it's only like a 2.5 hour podcast. Though.
Was there specific stuff in that Metro video you wanted to talk about?
Oh man,
stuck out?
Well, here's the thing: is they had a concept in there, and oh man, I forgot the name of it, but essentially you can hook yourself into a computer and live out a life. Mm-hmm. And people get fucking addicted to that.
Oh, snap.
And they go out and they go out and do their little brain trip or whatever, brain vacation. I'm gonna call it a brain vacation.
Sounds good to me.
But it's like some Matrix shit. You plug yourself in, and if you ever seen that one Rick and Morty episode where they do the video game and he like lives this guy's entire fucking life from childhood to old age. Yeah. Imagine that.
That's crazy.
But people get addicted to this stuff and they abandon reality. Mm-hmm. Well, the way they described it is you may end up being like, you go and you find different people out in the world, and depending on you can freeform whatever the fuck you want to do. Mm-hmm. So you may end up with these guys who are with the corporations, and you may join the corporations and go do corporation shit. Mm-hmm. And you see only that portion of the story. Or you could decide to go and in subsequent playthroughs, you may decide to go through the guys who are against the corporations and do some against the corporation shit. And in the next game, you may just decide to spaz out on that fucking drug and just live multiple lives over and over and over again. And it's all up to you. Mm-hmm. And since it's going mostly off the tabletop stuff, and I told you about how intricate the tabletop game is, the creator said one of the features he'd like to see implemented is the game allows you to print your character sheet for the tabletop game.
Oh, shit.
Based on your video game character.
Oh, nice. So if you decide to pick up the tabletop game, you can roll your character into it.
Or if you were already a fan of the tabletop game, you can get this game, play it, beat it, and then just roll that character straight out.
Wow. And
he could be, or he or she could be whatever.
Yeah.
But they took basically 10, almost, when was it, 2002 or 2012 when this game was announced?
Sounds about right.
So it's been 5 years worth of news. Mm-hmm. I mean, most of it was like, okay, well, we're backdooring some of this stuff. Mostly we're working on The Witcher. We're working on The Witcher. But now CD Projekt Red went from 200 to shooting for 500 employees. They're 400 plus right now.
Good. So
they had like a small team dedicated to this, like doing some back burner work, concept art, stuff like that, getting it, Then they actually split up into 3 teams. Mm-hmm. They had one team working on the engine that they used to build Witcher 3 and they're using to build the Cyberpunk game. Mm-hmm. They had a team working on the Cyberpunk game, and they had the bulk of their people working on Witcher 3. Well, now the bulk of the people are working on Cyberpunk. And
more people, more time.
And the tools that they use to build Witcher 3 are getting further and further refined. Mm-hmm. So, man, I can't wait to fucking see this game. It'll be done when it's done. It'll be like 2019 before we get to play it.
That's exactly our mentality. It's always been mine too. Is like, man, fucking take your time.
Take your time. Blow me the fuck out of the water when I get it. You know what I mean?
That was something that Pat from Two Best Friends was talking about. I didn't realize this till later down the road about the Two Best Friends, but apparently, I don't know if all 3 of them were, but I think all 3 of them were like quality testers at some point in their life. Mm-hmm. So I think I could be totally wrong. It was like Ubisoft they worked for or some company. I don't know. But they knew the insides a little bit from the quality assurance side. And when they were talking about Andromeda, they were like, yeah, you can damn near point this all the way down to somebody.
Yeah.
There's one head that had to make the call where they were like, you really should wait another 6 months or so, when that one person said, we're going to roll. Let's just roll the dice and roll with it.
Yep.
We both, Adam and I, agree. I don't even care if you give me news or not. Just take your fucking time. You know what? It's something that we're never going to have. We're not going to have this idea of people wanting to back off of timelines and back off of press announcements. They're always going to want to do that.
I watched a episode of Extra Credits, and you know what Extra Credits is. Mm-hmm. It's basically, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a YouTube series that, they have a couple of game designers and people that are kind of in the know in the game development side. Mm-hmm. They broke it down.
Yeah, they're very informative.
They said, look, it came down to one of 3 things, Either they didn't know there was a problem, which is highly unlikely.
Very unlikely. With that many people.
Almost impossible. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they either didn't know, they knew, but they couldn't fix it. Like, it was so integral. The problem that was happening was so, like, to fix it would be to break 50 other things.
Right.
Or they could fix it, but it wasn't worth the investment.
Right.
And when I say it wasn't worth the investment, I mean that, like, it would sink more hours and more time into the game than was worth, then the game would turn profit, because ultimately the games are sold for profit.
Yeah.
And I think that it's worth more in the long run to put out a good game. But I mean, if we don't see another Mass Effect game for 5 years because of this bullshit, people will still flock to the new Mass Effect game, just because the brand hasn't been killed yet.
Yep. But it's like we said last episode, the tone is different now.
Yeah.
Now the tone is from the, oh shit, that new Mass Effect to, well, the new Mass Effect.
I hope they don't fuck this one up.
I hope they got their head straight for this one.
That's exactly the way I went into Dragon Age Inquisition was, I hope they didn't fuck this one up. But they haven't completely fucked this one up yet. Because what they could do is they could release good DLC.
Yeah.
And if they release good DLC, I don't even know if they're still working on DLC. I heard Mass Effect was on hiatus. I hope that doesn't mean that they aren't going to put out DLC for Andromeda.
Yeah.
Hope that's not what that means. But I guess we'll see. But anywho, I really hope they do, flesh out what the fuck is going on in this damn, world. I want to see why everything is the way it is. I want to see. They put out lots of little tendrils and they didn't solve all the problems. And from what I've heard, still haven't beat it yet, but from what I've heard, the game ends with a whimper.
Yeah.
Instead of a bang.
That's what I've heard from people back when, around about the time the game was announced. It's like, it's not only the fact that the game is, it's up or down, it's middle weight. The ending itself is meh. It's like, man, come on.
Well, maybe that's not the whole ending, though.
It could be.
It could be that, it's like, The Witcher, and they threw in some more content there at the end to give you more. Maybe it's got 2 or 3 DLCs coming out that are big expansion packs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
So, going back to Fallout, you said you played Fallout 4. Did you have any revelations, anything good from you going back and playing it in the end, the DLC or any of that?
I realized that Fallout 4 has a lot of problems that I didn't notice the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think some of the dialogue is kind of janky. A little bit. I'm kind of noticing it more after the shit happened with Mass Effect. I've been a little bit more scrutinous. But like some of the dialogue is not nearly as bad. Not even in the same fucking league. But some of it is kind of, I'm noticing more like, okay, that was kind of out of, that wasn't the right cue.
Right.
I noticed that I did particularly love having a melee character because I didn't make one last time.
Yeah.
And this time I made one that just goes around beating the fuck out of things. So
with fist or with a weapon?
Both.
Like it.
So I got some brass knuckles, and I've got fucking a pipe wrench I'm using right now, but I'm gonna upgrade to like a swode eventually. That's my goal, is to get a swode. Go around swoding people on down. Although you can't do that cool Fallout 3 and New Vegas trick to where you could teleport like 10 feet in vats.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you didn't do that anymore. So it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Anything else you played? I got Mass Effect Andromeda. I got Fallout 4.
Got Fallout 4, Mass Effect Andromeda. Of course, I played fucking War Thunder. Of course I did.
You went home and put Surge on your wish list, didn't you?
Yes. Yes.
Want that game
one of these days, man. If I hadn't had to get all this shit for my car, oh man, I'd have that fucking game right now.
So my internet reading experience, because I've already gone to I'm already internet black on it. I don't want to watch anything else. I'm getting so bad about watching Giant Bomb like Quick Looks, because they play like about an hour of a game, somewhere around an hour, and it's just, I want to watch it, I want to keep watching, but you realize you're seeing shit, and you're like, I should see that, I need to stop. But I'm reading reviews and debates and discussions over this game, and the negatives that are being brought against this game is, they're like, well, look at the company that that's making it. That company gave you Lords of the Fallen or whatever. And apparently that was a shit tier wannabe Souls game.
Mm-hmm.
So that has a negative on them. The fact that it's not solely a Japanese, centric developed Souls game, that takes away from it. And I'm like, man, but from what I see, the game looks good. I mean, it's the same fucking formula. They just added some cool stuff to it. Like finishing moves and a ability to attack different points on a monster. The ability to focus in on that because you need that specific body type or body part or whatever. So on and so forth. The setting, the graphics.
And the cool thing is you can focus in on that body part and then you're more likely to get a drop for that specific body part. Yeah. So if you go after the head, you get like a piece of headgear or something.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's an awesome addition.
The biggest negative that I see, I don't know if you heard this or not, and I hope this doesn't spoil the thing for you. Spoilers for the Surge, if anybody's listening and cares. But the biggest negative about this game is that there are only 5 bosses. There are only 5. Now, if memory serves me right, Dark Souls had 15 or 16. Demon Souls they all had around 15 or 16 bosses.
Yeah.
But here's where that doesn't matter to me, because Breath of the Wild technically only has 5 bosses. Doesn't always make the game. Now, the bosses in the Souls games, they're a big
fucking deal.
That's a big deal. But
this isn't a Souls game technically. It's a Souls-esque game.
Now, what it does negative for me, it's that 5 bosses is give or take. That's neither here nor there. I have to have the game in my hand and get the meat of it to figure out whether that's a deal breaker.
Yeah.
What it does break for me slightly is the game is $50.
Yeah.
So
it's a fucking, it's a big dice roll to be like, oh man, do I really want to?
That's great that the gameplay is so good. That's great that the graphics are good and there's a cohesive story and there's dialogue and, crafting and all that stuff. But if I only get down to, the game is about 20, 30 hours with maybe replayable content, is it worth the 50? That's where I'm at these days with prices. Like, when I see a $50 or $60 price tag, whew,
it better be a damn good game.
Man, like, I only paid $60 for Breath of the Wild, but Jesus, I got 400 plus hours out of that game. Technically, I underpaid for that. Yeah. But when I pay $50-$60 and then I look at my playtime and it says you got 13 hours, I'm like, well, I kind of want to go back, but yeah. So,
well, all I know is if you're going to get a game that costs that much, if you're going to pay full price for a game like that, then obviously you want it to be a great experience.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's just something that games have been doing lately or if it's just me, but I've been noticing a lot of these AAA flops lately.
Yes, I have too.
Where it's just like, oh God, what the hell were you thinking?
I mean, blowing up media, being advertised everywhere, showing
Look at how
everything.
awesome this game's gonna be, and I'm just like, man.
Yeah, and you get it, and you see it, and then it turns out, this game was actually kind of middle to garbage.
Yeah.
Wow.
A AAA game should never be bad.
Exactly. That's what AAA used to mean back in the day. That was like the Nintendo seal of approval. You get this shit, it's going to be good. This is a AAA company bringing this 5 out of 5, maybe 6 out of 5 game coming out. Now it's, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we'll see isn't good enough.
No, not for $60. Now, a good positive, if I'm only speaking on the money side of the Surge, I still want to get the game. I want to get the game bad.
Yeah.
But another positive on the money side is that the game's available on Steam. And Steam is known for having sales out the fucking blue.
Yeah.
Just, we're just 15% off this game today.
Just fuck it.
You buy it in the next 4
Anybody
days.
from this developer, 40% off.
Yeah. So,
we'll see. Hopefully it comes down on sale real soon.
Yep.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Maybe in the summer sale.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But we'll see. We will see.
On my week, I played Breath of the Wild a little bit more. Got some more things checked off. Started trying to go to other games and just again, it's not some hard. It wasn't some hard like yeah, fuck this game, I'm done. It was more like all right, time to take a breather and go see what else is out in the world.
Yeah,
I've had again over 400 hours in this game now.
Did you get a chance to check out any of those games we talked about on the top RPGs list? I noticed you sneaking in the number 3 game of all time.
Oh, fuck you. I'll get to that. Was it Valkyria Chronicles? I took a look at that.
Oh.
We'll see.
He took a look at it. Now he took a look at it and he went, meh.
Well, yeah,
meh.
I did.
Damn.
Because I saw a bunch of tanks and shit, and I was like, what is this? What is this bullshit?
It's an RPG.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Let me put it out there. There are tanks. Mm-hmm. They make you pay for the tanks, and tanks are really badass. Mm-hmm. Mostly it's ground units. Ground units can kill tanks very easily. Mm-hmm. But it's all about if you took a combination of a strategy game, a tactics game, and an RPG, mm-hmm. that would be a very good mix of what this is.
Sounds like garbage.
Damn. I just say that you should probably watch some gameplay.
I'll probably watch some gameplay. I mean,
there's a reason it made both lists.
It's a PS2 game, right?
PS3 game.
A PS3 game. Oh, okay.
It used to be. It's on Steam.
Okay. Oh, it is.
Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Well.
Controller compatible too.
I also went and I was gonna go check out Baldur's Gate 2.
It also has the most badass title screen.
No, that's saying
the something. The music is like dun, dun. It's got this really heavy like fucking action fucking title theme, and when you hit the button, it's like pow, it does like a gunshot,
oh, cool.
And you're like whoa. It just like totally gets you in the mood to fucking play as soon as it goes.
We all know Final Fantasy VIII has the best intro go. Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah, they both get cut across each other's face.
They both cut, and then they apologize, and then they start licking each other.
Whoa, do they? I don't remember them licking each
other. They lick their wounds.
I don't remember this.
There's squill and there's semen.
Squill and semen.
Squill and semen.
Okay.
Those are the two main characters.
That sounds like a Brazers title.
That's
Squeal and semen.
Squeal and semen.
Slap that Brazer title right there.
Brazzers.
I was gonna go check out Baldur's Gate 2.
Uh-oh.
Man, that looks like that's a rough one to get into. It's old.
It's old.
It is old.
But if you like that old 3D, or not 3D, but 3D dimension.
It seemed like Diablo 2 a little bit.
If you go, the thing is that it's almost timeless, mm-hmm. because you have like the pre-rendered backgrounds and hand-drawn art and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It works really well. You're gonna see new games come out in kind of the same spirit, like Pillars of Eternity and Tyranny and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those games are all awesome. Baldur's Gate, however, was the mother of them all because there's just so much fucking content in that game.
And if I remember right, and we're speaking specifically about Baldur's Gate 2.
Yes.
You said that is a D&D style game.
Yes.
And as in you have to make your own character.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I may check that out and get back to it. I started playing Chrono Trigger.
What?
I just randomly fucking booted it up.
And you know that's the number 3 game, number 3 RPG of all time. Right underneath Skyrim and Final Fantasy VI.
You know, I got a letter from...
You played Skyrim yet?
I got a letter from that guy, and he was like, come on, guys. Y'all know in the depths of your heart, Skyrim's number 1. Come on, man.
Yeah. And then he burst into flames.
You know, it had nothing to do with Skyrim coming out on the Switch.
On November 14th.
That's just a coincidence. Get your pre-orders now.
Get your pre-orders now.
I've emailed you both pre-order codes.
Click the link. Enter my special code.
Oh, man.
Get $5 off.
But, I started going back through Chrono Trigger again. It's on I go through my top 15 every now and again. So it's fine.
Did you put any consideration into maybe going back through Skyrim?
Well, I wouldn't be able to go back through Skyrim.
Yeah, you go through your first trip through Skyrim?
No. again, I just haven't seen anything from Skyrim that made me go, I've got to play.
You didn't see the Macho Dragon?
Now, as far as a humor thing, as far as a slap your knee laugh, yeah, that was funny, but nothing about Skyrim ever just drew me in and made me.
It's got I mean, not just Skyrim, but the Elder Scrolls in general has like a really rich tapestry of stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You have a pantheon of gods. You have a pantheon of demons. You have all these different races that have their own shticks. You have all these different countries that have their own shticks.
Mm-hmm.
You have political intrigue. You have cults and fucking guilds and all these other little things, and they each have their own stories that continue throughout the games. Now, you haven't played any of the other games.
Nope.
So, you're a little behind the power curve on that.
Mm-hmm.
But they each stand on their own, too.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go into this, and whereas you wouldn't miss the Mages Guild that got disbanded, and they're going to talk about it a little bit, but you'd be like, okay, well, that's cool. I still have a thing to go do. I have this Mages College I can go to,
mm-hmm.
you know, and you could go through there and do your whole fucking Dragonborn thing, and, you know, the gameplay is good.
Mm-hmm.
The mechanics are less than ever before in the fucking, but they're still good. But when you compare them to a standard RPG.
Oh, are you saying that is more that they're more homogenized, or there's less to control?
It's both.
Oh, well.
Okay, what?
It depends.
They took away attributes completely.
Oh, okay. Well,
you don't have a strength in Skyrim.
Well, shit.
Yeah. So you only work on your other stuff. One of the cool things is, like, you know, you gain points in, you know, by sneaking.
Yeah.
You gain points in magic by, you know, using magic. Whatever school of magic you're using.
Well, I guess that's pretty cool.
You gain points in block, you know, you gain points in using your armor by using your armor and getting hit.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And once you get up to, you know, there's like skill tree to unlock for every skill, you know, and they're pretty cool. There's a reason it's a good damn game. Okay, there's a reason that it's still supported to this day by the modding community. Because people fucking love that game.
I thought it was just supported heavily by the modding community because it's so moddable and people want to mod it.
Well, Bethesda games are really, really moddable, but, you know, they could have moved on to Fallout 4.
Yeah, true.
They could have moved on to that and just said fuck it, but not everybody did. I mean, so you gotta think the game is pretty decent. Pretty decent, at least in that. If you just got in there and gave it a chance, I think you'd be okay with it. I think you would.
If I could find some free to play demo, maybe I'd try it out.
Maybe, I mean, just come up, fire up mine, and I'll let you. I'll let you fart in my chair. I'll let you fart in my chair, and you can just walk around and be like. I tend to not go to people's houses who admit that they don't wash their own hands. I don't. There's shit all over my keyboard. All over it.
That's what I'm talking about.
You don't want to touch my shitty keyboard?
That's why I never go in your house. I just sit outside like a weirdo and like, hey.
I rub all the grass and the concrete. So I hope you wipe your shoes.
On a personal side of life, for the first time in my life, I've taken like actual vacation time from my job.
What?
And one of the weeks is for GDQ. I took that whole week off.
What?
Yeah. So I get to sit my ass at home and do not a damn thing. Watch whatever GDQ stuff's going on.
Oh, snap.
I guess I could pull the schedule up and we could rattle off some things on the schedule. It's got some pretty good stuff.
Do you some games done quick, huh?
Also, my cousin was telling me about some RPG. There was some like GDQ RPG convention, but I think that actually already happened and we might have missed it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I have to go through in my personal...
Is it like a Dragon Con or something like that?
No, it's I could go research it maybe on a break and see. He sent it to me in like a message or something. He's like, hey, don't forget. I think I put on my Facebook page like the GDQ schedule. And he was like, hey, don't forget about this convention also. And it's nothing but speedrunning RPGs.
Don't forget.
But
Star Fox, best RPG of all time.
Check this shit out. The very first thing that they're speed running, the first game is going to be Nier Automata, the brand new fucking game. That's crazy.
Jeez.
They're doing Halo, the original. Cool.
One-handed. They're doing it one-handed.
I see that. That stuff like that, that's cool as shit, man.
They got 10 minutes.
Azure Striker Gunvolt 2. That right there is a Mega Man Zero style game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in checking that out. See, we got Metroid Prime 100%. I've done that before, but not in that, nowhere near in that time. They're doing Symphony of the Night. Okami is in this one. Golly. Okami's a fairly extensive RPG, so I don't know, we'll have to see. New game plus any percent. That might make it quicker. Strider is going to be happening. Super Adventure Island 2. They're doing ActRaiser. I think I've already seen that one on that before, but not by that person.
Oh man, they're doing the Lion King.
Yep, they're doing the Lion King. They're doing Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, Sonic CD, Mirror's Edge, Donkey Kong 64, Castlevania Legacy of Darkness. Why would you do that?
Jesus.
Why would you do that? Jet Set Radio. Nice. Always good to see Jet Set Radio getting in here.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and 4.
Yep.
Because they hate themselves.
Yep. Some Banjo-Kazooie.
The Wheel of Time.
Pokemon Stadium. Oh, I didn't know there was a Wheel of Time game.
Apparently there is. Apparently they're gonna beat the fuck out of it too.
I tried to listen to the audiobook of that, and I got lost. Sorry, Corey. Pokemon. There you go. Hey, look at there. There's the fucking top RPG up in there. Look at there. They're gonna speed running at them.
Oh God.
Half-Life and Half-Life 2. 2016 Doom. I will be there to see that one. Silent Hill 2, the original Resident Evil, Code Veronica, Onimusha, Ninja Gaiden. They got a lot of good. See, last year's GDQ, SGDQ, there was a lot of, I don't want to say non-namers, but more like Steamish, underknown games.
Castlevania 3.
Castlevania 3's in this one. I'm glad to see there's
Castlevania Rondo of Blood.
Yep, Super Meat Boy, VVVVV. Oh God. Of all the Megamans, tell me I missed one. The first fucking Mega Man on this list is Mega Man X6. Why would you do that game? That game is horrible.
They were just like, let's punish you.
But that's okay, because they go on to Mega Man X2 and Mega Man X3. They usually have a Mega Man block.
Twilight Princess. And they've got, what, 5 hours to do that? Is it 5 hours or 5 minutes?
Three, almost 4. Oblivion, they're beating in about 40 minutes.
I could see that.
Ghosts and Demons, Hero, Bleed 2, I'm getting some other names. Ratchet and Clank. Shadow of the Colossus in an hour flat. Yep. Sands of Time. They got
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger, yeah. Oh shit, that's not the last game. Remember I told you usually they do like a long RPG is like the last game?
Uh-huh.
So I wonder what the last one they're doing.
Link to the Past.
Mario 64. We got Tetris. Yep, we got Link to the Past. All dungeons swordless. That's a
What the fuck?
Tetris Grandmaster, 2 players, 1 controller race.
Can you beat the game swordless?
I guess you can. That's what the fuck they said they're doing. Zelda 2, 80%, no scroll lock. I guess that some people can beat it with a scroll lock.
I want to say you have to pull the Master Sword out.
Well, they may pull it and then not use it. I think what they're saying is they won't use the sword at all. But you have to use the sword, don't you? For the fucking...
Yeah, I want to say there are some bosses in there.
Yeah, because you
have to swag the magic back.
You have to get the gate at the castle.
You have to get the gate at the castle.
Well, you know what? I'm off, and I get to watch all this, so I will see how...
But you also have to swag the little magic balls back at Alakazam, or what the fuck his name is.
You also have to swag your own balls when you're trying to...
You have to swag your own balls when you... That's what you do when you're taking a shit and you're bored.
When you're trying to...
Bone.
Let's see. Shantae, Half Genie Hero, 80%, doing Super Win the Game. I don't know what the fuck that is. Mega Man. Oh, shit. Mega Man 4, 80%, 45 minutes. Whoa. I will be there on that at 6:30 in the morning. I will be watching that. #1 game of all time.
Oh man, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2.
Yep. Ninja Turtles 3, Radical Rescue.
That Kyle Katarn.
What the fuck is Radical Rescue? Is that the name of the third one?
I want to say, yeah, I think it is.
Well, yeah, Turtles 1 didn't have a subtitle. Turtles 2 was Turtles in Manhattan, the Manhattan Project.
No, Turtles 2 was, what's the Manhattan Project? Was that that was the arcade port, wasn't it? Turtles 2?
I think it was the Manhattan Project. That's the first one, you dumb game.
No, that's the second one.
Maybe it was the arcade game. I guess it was TMNT 2, the arcade games for the Nintendo.
So try the 3.
I don't remember.
I think that's
that
Manhattan
title
Project.
At all.
It is Manhattan Project.
Yeah, so I wonder what this Radical Rescue is. I don't know. You know what? That could be like a new game. You know, the Ninja Turtles have new games.
Oh no.
Anyway, Mutant Apocalypse, cool. Jedi Outcast, Kingdom Hearts 2. Hey, there's another fucking top RPG right there. We got a Super Mario series warpless relay race. And I'm going to stop and take a minute to tell you all about these relay races. Let me try to put this in your head so you get an idea what they do. The best ones that they do relay races for, and I can't wait to see if they have one on this list, is they do a Mario Maker team relay race. Mm-hmm. And if you know what Mario Maker is, you make your own levels. Yeah. So they'll have like 4 or 5 guys on each team. So you're looking at 8 to 10 people in this race. They will have these player created levels, and 2 people sit down, one on each side of the team, and they give them the controller. They start a level and they say go. As soon as they die, they have to get up and hand their controller to the next person in their team, and they have to go through this level. They don't know how to beat it. They're blind to the level, but the team that finishes it first, they get to move on. And watching this shit this is my fucking sports. This is my NFL. This is my NBA. Because
you're just going to be cracking out on this.
You see people get right there to the edge, and their team's like, yeah, and they fucking die. And you're like, oh,
you're like,
LOL. Meanwhile, the other team's watching them, and they're like, oh, I see how to do this. It's engaging. I love it. But this one I see as a Super Mario series warpless, so I'm guessing it's the same thing. They're going through the whole... See, I don't know about if they do Mario like 1 through 3 or Mario 1 through World, because most of these speedrunners know how to 100% these games.
I'm kind of curious about that one right there.
Which one?
Final Fantasy VII, any percentage, no slots.
No slots?
No materia?
No materia?
Fuck you.
I guess. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the criteria is for this series warpless relay race, and I'm pretty sure you can probably look up the rules. They'll probably show it somewhere. See what else we got on the list. We got Titanfall 2 making the list. Fuck yeah. Diablo 2 Lords of Destruction DLC is in this one. Dark Souls 3 all bosses. Mario 64 120 star. I like that. Majora's Mask coming back. Oh god. Well, you see what their cap is right there.
Oh god.
Their SGDQ 2017, the last big RPG for the cap of the whole entire event is Earthbound. I'll still watch it.
Blah.
But I took time off for this. I'm always interested to watch these. I got hooked on SGDQ. I think it was only like last year. And glad I discovered this stuff. It's all the best thing about this is, and I'm sure there's some fucking bureaucrats out there that say no, it's not what you think, because you could look at the charity and find where the money goes. All the proceeds from SGDQ and GDQ go towards some type of thing, cancer research, something. For one, it's just people calling in, or just people just flat out donating money is one, but also they'll have incentives. Like, they'll have a speedrunner that says, I can speedrun Metroid Prime in 45 minutes. And they say, but if I've got this goal of $1,000, and if I can get enough people to donate at least $1,000 worth of money, I'll do it with, not using mines or something. Like, yeah. I'll do some extremely hard, difficult thing if people donate money. And they donate money. Like, you'll see goals be blasted out of the water. And also, some of these matches that, like that relay race I was just telling you about, the Mario Maker one.
Yes.
Bruh. Just average, when you're watching a regular playthrough, like somebody will be playing like Mario World, and the announcer will be, you got time for donations? And he'll be like, yeah, sure. So we got a $5 donation from so-and-so. Hey, I've been watching this for years. Cool. Here's a $3 donation. Hey, I wish I had more money. Blah, 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 blah. Here's a $20 donation. Hey, this game was really cool. Blah, blah, blah. Here's a $100 donation from so-and-so.
Here's $5 million.
Well, that fucking Mario relay race, it was like, we just got a $5,000 donation from something. And everybody's like, whoa, yeah. It's like, we just got a $10,000 donation. Like the game, when the content itself is like really fun and really engaging, people just donate money, just wads of money left and right.
Wow.
So it's really, really, really cool to see. Can't wait to see that this time of year. Should be really, really good. I think that's about all I've done. Most importantly, I mean, I didn't really talk about Chrono Trigger. I mean, I did play it. I'm playing through it. A funny thing for us podcasters and the listeners is that now that I'm going through it, I really am looking at it with a very critical eye. Because I'm really trying to see if I can find something bad. Because that was a tooth-pulling episode we did.
Did you find anything?
I haven't yet. Like
how far are you in?
Chrono
Trigger's not too horribly long.
No. I just made it to the 600 AD when you go back. I think I just met like the little boy again, or the guy, the Tato, whatever. I believe I'm fixing to go to Ozma or Ozzy's castle. You remember the section where there was the bridge? You had to bring the jerky to the captain.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Hey, go that way. They're attacking. You'd attack." And Ozzy summons the 4 skeletons to make the big one.
Yeah.
That's the last big thing I just did.
Oh, okay.
So, no, I haven't. It's amazing. I love playing this game because it's just a fucking symphony.
It's a whirlwind of fucking awesome.
It's a symphony
from
as you're going through.
Beginning to the end.
Like, you get to 600 AD and automatically you run into a town of monsters 1000 AD, I believe it is, and you see the fucking statue of Magus, and these monsters are fucking chanting and running around it, and you're like, who is that? And then they start feeding it to you. Well, here's Magus. Oh, Magus summoned Lavos, and blah, 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 and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, God.
And they purposefully and masterfully work this stuff in, just like a really good story. And, my God, I don't know how the fuck we ever could have thought to come up with something in here. The race that I did with what's his name? Do you remember you had to do the fucking supercar race with the man? I forget his name. Johnny. Yeah, Johnny. I never did like that match just because it was really easy to fucking cheese it out. Well,
that was the best part about it, is that you had to do it to get done with it.
Yeah.
But you could cheese it if you needed to.
It's super easy to cheese that race. Spoiler warning for Chrono Trigger. If you ever have to do that race
and you lose to Johnny, just go ahead and quit playing games.
Yeah, sure. All you have to do in that race is nothing. And when it gets to the last little bit, you have 2 choices. You can either, because remember, he loops around you, or he's actually trying to get in front of you. He's always bouncing off you in the front. You can loop around him and throw your boost, or what I like to do is ram into him, and it shoots him forward, but he springs all the way to the back, and I go forward. But either way, if you don't know this and you're trying to beat him your first playthrough, you're like, man, what do I do? It's a super easy race. It's a super easy filler race to do. But yeah, I've been having a good time with it. I have no intention of like speed running it or anything like that. I'm just going through it and enjoying it. Maybe I'll go through a New Game Plus it. I'm not doing a New Game Plus file right now. This is a fresh, brand new file.
You should go through a New Game Plus it and try to get the best ending.
I should. And it's really interesting.
The one where you literally fight Lavos 5 seconds into the game.
The last few times that I even played this game on my own, all the files, I always I always seem to have a New Game Plus. Like, the first time I beat Chrono Trigger, the 20 other times I beat it was just with a New Game Plus file. So, going back and being like baby first steps,
did you grind out the load sword?
I thought about
It's something I can refuse to ever not do.
I thought about it.
I do it every fucking fresh start.
I thought about it, and man, they tease you too. Just like, here's this sword for like 100. Here's this one for 1,000. But look at the damage difference. I'm like, I should, but I'm just gonna go. I don't feel like grinding right now, and
you know what I would do? I'd be like, no, I'm gonna go grind.
Well, you get the sword
and I go fight
later.
those. Well, you get it way later.
I got a load sword in like the 4th-ish area I was in. Yeah.
I want to say that sword was good. Oh no, it was the second time you had to grind up. There's another place where you go to Ozzy's little town, and they offer you a sword for like 64 fucking thousand gold or something like that. Oh God! But it's like a chaos blade or some shit. You know, it's what is it called? You know, the town, right? It sells Magus's castle.
Yeah.
It's like it's got nothing but like demons and shit in it.
Yeah.
You go to it in the modern time and they're like, blah, 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 blah. Go there and do that.
I think for me, it would depend on where I am in the game, because I'm not above sitting someplace and grinding for something that I really want. It just depends on.
Well, just remember to save your money.
Yeah.
Save your money.
I've been doing pretty good with that one, because I use spoilers for Chrono Trigger. I use Nadia, because I got this thing now where I name all the characters their actual name. I name shit. You name shit.
Marl? You name somebody shit. That's what I always named Kate Sith. I named him Cat Shit. Oh, every time.
I named Marl her actual name, which is Princess Nadia.
Yeah.
I named Frog Glenn.
Yeah.
Now, Robo was different, because Robo's
I always named him his actual name.
Well, his name's
XY5366.
Yes, it's R66-Y.
Yeah.
But his real name is Prometheus. But Prometheus will not fit in there. All you can put is Prom.
Every time I can't say Prometheus. Prometheus was his slave name.
Yeah, well, that's what people know him as.
Prometheus. That's what all the fucking robot slave masters know him as.
And I think that was all of them, because no, Magus wasn't Magus.
His name was
Magus
Janus.
was Janus. Yep.
Everybody had a fake name.
Yep.
Chrono wasn't Chrono. It was
Squall.
Rip. No, because then he would be talking the entire time.
No. What's the lead character in Chrono Trigger? That's his real name. I mean, Chrono Cross. That's his real name.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Negative, sir.
Yeah.
No.
Because it's a sequel.
No.
It carries the story.
No.
Fun fact, I was looking up ROM hacks. I was looking at different Super Nintendo and Nintendo ROM hacks. And I stumbled across where there was a Chrono Trigger ROM hack. And I was this close to getting it, because they were talking about it was like an expansion to Chrono Trigger, and it added more content, and there was fresh enemies and all this stuff. And I was like, I'm interested. And then I watched a video of a guy reviewing it, and he was like, if you're looking for the game that does a great bridge between Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, you want to play this game. And I was like, oh, nope.
Rip.
Nope.
I don't even want to remember that game.
No.
If I could have a part of my childhood surgically removed, I would pick that over that child molester.
I mean, from the graphics, from everything I saw, I was like, yeah.
Fuck no, you didn't catch that. Oh.
And it said, yeah, this is, if you thought that one Game Boy game does a good meshing.
Just keep on going like nothing happened.
But real quick, I finally ran through my Facebook and found this. Zane linked this to me, and apparently it starts on Saturday, May the 13th, which means it's already over.
Rip.
It's actually happening right now. They are actually in their looks about the end of it. They're on their last day. They're playing Final Fantasy IX as of this recording, so nobody here will be able to see it though. But if you
Scrubs.
look, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a next. This is an annual thing, I'm guessing. But just to list a few things, I can't believe. Now this is. Look at the first game in this list.
It should tell you that you should never watch this.
Final Fantasy 13-2 is the first game they play. Wow.
That should be like the loser's bracket game if you want to get back in.
Yeah.
It should be like, yeah, okay, go beat your head against the wall and play this.
But, they got good stuff in there. They got Final Fantasy 7 on day 1. On day 2, they got a Megaman Star Force. They got Secret of Evermore. Golden Sun. They got, oh god. Everybody says Pokemon's an RPG, Adam. You're just fucking wrong.
Right?
They got Sapphire on day 2. Day 3, they got a Kingdom Hearts game. They got Xenoblade Chronicles. They got Fire Emblem 8, Paper Mario. They got, Alundra starts day 4.
Whoa.
Nice. Shadow Hearts from the New World. They got Final Fantasy Tactics the next day. Pokemon X, Breath of Fire, Dragon Quarter. Is that the only Breath of Fire in here? Oh, that's gonna piss me off.
No, I don't think it is.
I hope it ain't.
I think I saw another one.
They got Saturday Morning RPG. I have no fucking idea what it is. Why am I saying that out loud? They got Baldur's Gate 2. There's your game.
Oh, fuck me.
They got till the end of time.
There's your game.
Yeah, the Earthbound Beginnings game. Secret of Mana's in there. Dragon Warrior 3, Dragon Quest 5, Super Mario RPG. Heck yes. Final Fantasy 12, fuck yeah.
Star Tropics.
Zoda's Revenge. Final Fantasy Legend 2 and 3. They got Mystic Quest. Earthbound's in there. Shining Force, World of Final Fantasy. Yeah, the only fucking Breath of Fire in here is Dragon Quarter. Arguably the worst Breath of Fire game in there.
Damn.
Well, oh well.
But at least they had one.
Yeah. Y'all can check it out. It's called RPG Limit Break. I'm guessing it's an annual event. Sure, they're going to have one for 2018. I see schedules for 2016 and 2017, so this might be a new thing. But that's okay. GDQ is new, and, man, GDQ's got, I think they're up to 8 million, 7 or 8 million total money, dollars that they...
Total money.
Total money.
They're up to 8 million total money.
Just want you guys to know. They
got that total money. Total money.
We're not exactly sure how that translates, or even if it's going to, but you guys did good. You guys did real good. Yeah, they've donated over $10 million across the 16 marathons they've done so far. And there's 2 GDQs every year. There's a, I think it's, I don't know if they just generically say games done quick or if it's advanced games done quick, and then there's summer games done quick, and that's the one I'm watching this year. I watched the GDQ that happened back in January, February, but I wasn't off, so I just kind of had to catch what was on when it was on. I'll be here for all these. Boy, I can't wait to see that long play of Earthbound.
Yay.
I'm just
Fuck Earthbound.
But hey, at least they got Chrono Trigger in it. I mean, there's that.
I mean, a lot of, I just never could understand why people liked Earthbound so much. It's just one of those things where I guess I just wasn't on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
I've never known anybody that was on the bandwagon.
I've never known anybody personally in life that was like,
It's only once the internet became my thing that people were going, oh man, look at Earthbound.
Yeah. On to the topic of the day.
What?
We're going to do what we were going to do last week, before we did that 5-hour podcast.
5 hours of not doing the topic we set out to do.
I'll fucking tell you people right now, that's not the first time that's going to happen.
It actually was the first time.
Well, it
can only happen the first time once.
Can I stop?
No.
Can I stop?
No, you can't. You just go ahead and roll with it, buddy.
That was the first time. It's not the only time. So if you made it to that podcast with sweat, you're like, ugh. Oh man, oh god.
I can only orgasm so many times in a 5-hour period.
Sorry. We give you much love.
That's right. Love you long time.
Today's topic,
5
we're doing
hours
another
long
video
sometimes.
game year in review. We're going to do 1987 this year. I didn't pre-screen it, but I did see that there were like 2 pages worth of games.
Oh God!
Hopefully we'll have some shit in here that
I've never heard of any of these. Fuck 'em.
Well, you're at the very top. There's like numbers. Like I've never played 4th and Inches.
It sounds like a very interesting game.
I never played 221B Baker Street. Jesus.
Jeez.
These names. Wow.
$100,000 Pyramid sounds like it's based off like a fucking game show or something.
Yeah. Look.
A Battle of Midway in 1943. Oh yeah.
La Abadia de Clemen. Obviously that's not a game that we would ever know about. Oh Lord. Already looking grim.
Oh man, it's got real shitty real fast.
Alex Kidd, there you go. Alf, the first adventure. Oh Lord. Aliens, the computer game.
Aliens, the computer game.
Just so you know what you're getting into. See, Arena Arkanoid. Yeah, that's every time I hear.
There you go, Arkanoid.
Dude,
Revenge of the Dough.
That's the first one.
Revenge of the Dough.
Hey, the Avengers video game.
Yeah.
Damn, that's top.
ATV
right?
Simulator. Fuck yeah.
Let me just say this whole name out loud. The Astonishing Adventures of Mr. Weems and the She-Vampires. That's a hell of a title. Base is loaded.
Base is loaded.
The video game. Just so you know it's a video game.
Yeah.
I think I actually played Bases Loaded, or maybe in Bases Loaded 2. I don't remember. Basket Master? Boy, you thought you had a good time at Blaster Master. You don't know shit about Basket Master.
It's like Blaster Master, except it's all about folding laundry.
Yep. You got
fucking
Battlefield.
Bermuda Triangle. I actually had that game. Holy shit. Wow. It's about fucking being garbage.
Really?
No. Actually, the game I had was Cobra Triangle now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So, Bermuda Triangle, no, I haven't had that game.
Holy shit, Bionic Commando. Now, it specifies arcade. So, the original Bionic Commando arcade game came out in 1987.
Did you ever play it in the arcade?
No. I only played it.
I saw it in the arcade. I never played it.
I never played it. That's the thing that I didn't even realize this until my later years. I'm talking about probably late 20s, 30s, is that so many Nintendo games were arcade ports.
Oh man.
And I knew that, but I didn't realize how many games were
that you'd never guess.
Yeah, were arcade. Bionic Commando, an arcade game.
Punch Out.
Yeah. Bionic Commando, I played. Did you ever play it anyway?
I played the NES version. I didn't play the arcade version.
I played the NES version. I used to watch my cousin play it all the time. Loved it. Had a good time with it. I love the fucking bionic arm and swinging around and shooting people on the military shit going on.
Yeah.
You go in there and get debriefed.
You go in there and make Hitler's face explode.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
It does. That's what happens. Beat the game, Hitler's face explodes.
I also played the Bionic Commando, the 360 game.
What?
I actually liked it a lot. It got middling reviews. A lot of my friends that had played it said they didn't like it at all. I loved it. I 100%ed that game. I had a real good time with it. But I'm not saying it's top 50. It's just, it was worth a good playthrough. Had fun with it. Let's see what else we got here. Black Panther, Blades of Steel. Heard about it. Never played it. Boulder Dash. God, why does that sound so familiar?
Boulder Dash? That was like a fucking board game, wasn't it?
I thought it was.
Boulder Dash. No, that was Balderdash.
That was Balderdash. Okay. Captain America in The Doom Tube of Dr. Megaloman. Okay.
Ooh. You want to see Dr. Megaloman's Doom Tube?
Now, Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest.
Simon's
Finally
Quest.
a game we could talk about for a little bit.
A lot of people shit on this game, but I fucking loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
This was my favorite one for the longest time.
You go around grinding hearts so you can fucking buy shit.
The fucking...
Get the flame whip. You get the flaming chain whip and with the Morning Star, and you're just like, yeah, I'm a total fucking badass. Get fucked.
This is the thing. If you had to have been at a certain time in your life or childhood to play this game and have a particular setup for this to be like great for you. Mm-hmm. If you either had a friend that knew what to do or you had a guide like a Nintendo guide or something and you were a child, this would blow your fucking mind. Because it was fun. It was the fucking day changed. You know, what a horrible night for a curse, and then there's nighttime, and now there's enemies around.
And so you gotta time your trips and shit. And man, you could say a lot of things about it. I mean, I think the angry video game nerd kind of fucking destroyed this game.
Oh yeah,
but there were some issues.
Yeah,
but for the most part, the experience, the atmosphere of this game was unparalleled.
Yeah. That's the point I'm getting at, is that if you played this at a point where the big glaring issues, like, I don't know where to go, when that
was like every other fucking game that ever got created.
Yeah.
That was like back then you assumed that the game was going to have something in it that you just completely fucking didn't know how to do.
Now, playing this game today as a grown-ass adult and not...
Yeah, I can go back and destroy it.
Yeah, you could be like, oh, wow, yes, the load times for this is very long, and yes, all this is very cryptic. But the action involved, the different areas you go to, the music, the themes, the settings, great game. Have a fucking good time with it.
Used to have fucking pages upon pages of little fucking...
Yep.
You'd have like a heart and a chain and a cross, and you'd make your little passwords and all those kind of... Oh man, it was terrible.
This game started... I haven't played any other... So I played 1, 2, and 3. I played Symphony of the Night. I played like Super Castlevania. I played... God, I did play 64. I've played a fair good amount of the Castlevania games, but I haven't played every one of them. So I'm saying a out of my ass statement, but in my lifetime, this was the start of the Metroidvania style. This was the start of, hey, there's a place over here, but you got to go back over here to find something to unlock it, which lets you get something over here.
You have to go backtrack to get over this thing, yeah.
This, for me, is where this shit started, and I loved it. I loved, like, I wonder how I do get across this moat, and you have to fucking search and find out clues.
Finding out that the crystal makes platforms visible and shit like that. You're like, wow, man, that's really cute.
Yeah, and again, that's the severe detriment to this. If you just had this game with no guide and, like, no way of having knowledge of where to go, it doesn't not even in a Dark Souls way does this spell it out for you. It's a horrible, like, not translation of what you're supposed to do. So I could totally see how it could be a little weird to try to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
But
definitely a fucking all-time classic, though.
Yeah.
To me, in my mind, it's one of the best fucking summons, one of the best Castlevanias to come out in the NES.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. So, moving on down the list, let's
see what
else we got. I don't see anything else. I see Colossus chest. Don't know what
Meet you at Contra, motherfucker.
Oh shit, yeah. Sorry, it totally is on there. Contra. The very first Contra came out in 1987.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Just go around fucking shooting shit.
You
get hit one time, you fucking die.
Yeah. The downside, you get hit once, you're dead. The plus side, you get weapon upgrades.
Yup.
You can shoot a fucking weapon faster. You can get a spread gun.
You can get your friend and go around fucking shit up.
Yeah.
Man, we used to have so much fun with this game. You could lay prone.
Yeah.
You guys would actually like lay prone and shoot like with their, and then every couple of levels they'd switch it up and you'd be going, vertically scrolling instead of side scrolling.
And the music.
It was so cool. It was so cool.
I was seeing if he's going to catch it. I was saying fucking Ninja Gaiden music.
No, I wasn't going to fucking do it. I was just like, I'm going to let him roll with it. I was hoping you weren't going to say anything.
I was hoping you was going to call me out and be like, motherfucker, ain't Contra. But also, as far as a theme for the game, I like how it started out with what appeared to be like jungle warfare, and then slowly got into
goddamn aliens.
Oh shit!
Everything turned into aliens back in the 80s.
Yep. The weapon upgrades was the biggest thing for me. Do you remember what your favorite weapon was?
Oh, of course it was a spread gun.
Mine was a spread gun.
Everybody fucking picks a spread gun.
Yeah.
Duh. Yeah. This is also one of the best known usages of the fucking Konami code.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is when you fucking needed that goddamn code. It was people's mission in life to beat the game without the code.
Yeah. Funny you say that. I remember, I wish I could remember his name. who is that guy? He has a few YouTube videos where he talks like this. He does a lot of nerd mockery type things.
You talking about the fat dude?
No, he's a skinny guy. He's got glasses. He's got a bald head.
Yeah, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Oh God, that's horrible. That's somebody will remember it and they'll post the name. But he's like, people used to come over to my house all the time and they play Contra and they want to put the code in. They put the up, down, and they get 30 lives. They do the left, right, up, down, they do level select. I always use my code, which was start.
Because I'm not a bitch.
Yeah. Also, in the game, it had different styles of games where you went from side-scrolling shooter, and then the next level would be a
vertically scrolling.
Yeah, down to up. Man.
Go underneath the fucking flame things, and you got fucking
lasers shooting over you.
Yeah,
bullets. You had to shoot up or down. And,
yeah.
Oh man, it's a very good game, very fun game for what it's supposed to be. Worked out very well. 1987 too. Good job starting out early with that shit. All right, we got Deep Dungeon. I don't know anything about it. I just saw the name. Double Dragon, the very first one, came out in 1987. See, there's some pretty good ones in here.
Double Dragons, yeah. You know what was a better game?
Double Dragon 2.
Fuck you.
Were you going to say River City Rampage?
I was going to say it again. I said it the first time. I'll say it the second time.
You're telling me that
River City Rampage
is better than Double Dragon?
Beats the brakes off Double Dragon. Double Dragon gets all the remembrance because it was in it.
When you talk like that, you sound like an Earthbound lover when you say that.
See, I don't say, oh, it's so nostalgic. Oh my god. You know what they need a sequel to? River City Rampage. Somebody could remake that game and it would be totally fucking awesome.
They do. It's called Double Dragon.
You can hit people with a fucking chain and throw your fucking friend at people.
Oh, now you're talking about Road Rash.
No, I'm talking about fucking River City Rampage. You pick up the quarters out of their pockets whenever they fucking get beat up.
Well, we're not talking about fucking River City Rampage.
We're talking about River City Rampage now.
That year yet. We're talking about Double Dragon. To tell you the truth, I don't think I've ever played the first Double Dragon.
What?
I never played the first one. Now, those 7 games that my mom got me for my first Nintendo.
Did you play?
Double Dragon 2 came with it.
Did you play Abobo's Great Adventure?
No, but I've seen it played all the way through, and I'm like, yep, hits all points. Good job. I can't really speak on Double Dragon 1. I know that I could recognize the first level music because it's everybody knows it.
It's an iconic member of the genre. I don't think it's perhaps the greatest that it's ever, like I said, there were a lot of other games that define the beat 'em up genre better.
Yeah.
But this was definitely a classic.
Yeah. Had a good movie too, right?
I'm gonna throw that out there that this is yet another video game movie. And no.
Dragon Quest II, the sequel to the first Dragon Quest, which, if I'm not mistaken, it's Dragon Quest in Japan, but over here it's Dragon Warrior. Am I understanding that right? So technically,
but this is I'm assuming this is the Japanese release.
Yeah. So technically, I played Dragon Quest II because I played Dragon Warrior 2. Driller, don't know any of these other ones.
Dungeons.
Earl Weaver Baseball.
Did you play that?
Any Earl Weaver fans out there? They made a game.
Yeah,
he's got his name in it.
Get that Earl Weaver on. That Jim Beaver.
Here's some nerdy names for you: Exelon and Exisius. Wow.
Oh God.
That sounds like that's a fucking edgelord name for you.
Yeah.
Sephiroth and Exisius. Fantasy Zone 2, Fast Food, Xanadu. There's that game that Social was talking about. Very good game. It's a side scroller.
Fucking Fist of the North Star. I never played that game, but I've seen the anime.
Oh, I like how you.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I like how you went to Fist of the North Star. You totally skipped Final fucking Fantasy 1.
Where's that? I don't see it.
In alphabetical order.
Well, alphabets. What are these?
Asshole.
What are these alphabets? How do alphabets work?
Final Fantasy 1. I think we could talk about Final Fantasy 1 for a hot minute.
Oh.
You played it, yes?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you never know.
Have you ever played Final Fantasy 1?
Yes.
Oh man, I think somebody just recently put out a video on Final Fantasy 1 that I watched here recently.
Yeah, that was
like very, very recently.
Yeah, Pro Jared did that. Good job.
Oh man,
good videos.
I was like, whoa, this is fucking a blast from the past because I hadn't seen this game in forever.
Yeah,
forever, and yeah, it reminded me of all the great things. He talked about going over the bridge, and the same thing happened to me. After you beat that first little quest and come back and you go across the bridge, oh man, it was like, oh man, this is just starting.
Yep.
Fuck yes.
Had time travel. That's what's spoilers for Final Fantasy 1. Jesus Christ, we don't want somebody to
people die. Shit happens.
But the fact that everything was working in like a big time loop, and that's what he was the Fiend's. Oh, it's good shit. Such good shit.
Wow.
And I guess I get to, in parentheses, retell this story since the Zeta episode isn't out anymore.
Yeah.
But so I was a kid. I was getting babysitted. My mom had a coworker. I think she was in her 20s, and she babysat me now and again. I had the biggest crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
Not the point of the story though. I think it was like my 8th or 9th birthday. I don't remember. But she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you out for some pizza or something, and I'm gonna get you a Nintendo game."
Oh,
there was a local video game rental store, and they had like a big crate or a big box full of Nintendo games, and it was like, like $10 a pop, whatever.
Yeah.
She was like, "I'll let you pick out one video game." And this is very important at this time in my life because I was just in game.
This babysitter had to love you.
I get, dude.
Now, what I'm saying is, she's gonna buy you a video game with 10, 19 fucking 80s dollars or whatever.
Yeah.
She's gonna buy you a video game.
Pizza.
At work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck.
So, another reason why this story is so important in my life is because up until this point, I didn't really have knowledge of a gamer. I just had whatever fucking games were in my life and I played whatever. So I couldn't discern what was a good game and what was a bad game. An example of how I would know if I would like to try a game or not is if it was based off a fucking movie. Because I could relate to the name.
You know what I used to do? Look at the fucking cover art.
Oh yeah, or primarily.
That kept Megaman away for a long time.
Oh god, yes.
I kept it away until I played a sequel, and I was like, okay, I'll go back and play the first one.
But yes, as a primary point, if I didn't have anybody I could ask about what do you think this game is like, I would look at the cover art or read the back and look at the pictures, and yeah, it looks cool. So we went to this movie rental place. I went to the video game box. I'm talking, there were like 40, 50 something Nintendo. I guess they were just getting rid of their Nintendo library. I don't know. And I'm picking through these boxes and I'm just picking up random games. I don't know. Here's Mario. Yeah, the usual blah, blah. Here's RC Pro AM. Here's frickin' Double Dribble. Just random games. And the first game I pick up is Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Now, this was back when T2 was a hot fucking thing. So I was like, yeah, okay. And I turned it back over and I don't remember the back, but I didn't even remember focusing on the back because I was like, this is based off of Terminator 2.
Fuck yeah.
It's gotta be good. Oh, it's based off that movie. The movie's cool. The T-1000.
You're gonna shoot people with shotgun.
Yeah, chasing people with a Harley and, it's gotta be good. So I was like, that's it. That's in the maybe pile. I put that off to the side.
Yeah.
I'm picking all these other games up. Probably got a Castlevania. Probably got a Metroid. I would love to go back in time and look through this box and see what I passed up. Because, good God, I probably passed up.
You got that
gems.
one like $10,000 fucking video game. You just you casually toss it off to the side.
Yeah, here's a fucking Nintendo tournament game cartridge. That's stupid.
It's like the rare misprint one worth like millions of dollars.
As you sit down like $300,000 back in the bin with your nose in the air. Ugh, that's stupid.
Fucking nerds.
So I keep picking these games up, and then I pick up Final Fantasy. Now automatically the front cover got my attention. The big red letters, the fucking globe with the golden city in it, and the axe and the sword. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, and I flip it over. As a kid, I was like, shit, yeah. And the guy was like, man, shut that up, kid. Quit talking like that.
Hey kid.
Hey kid. Hey kid.
Hey kid. Go fuck yourself. Come get my van.
Always with us. Always.
Come get my van. Babysitter's like, you don't have to pay me.
He's under my watch.
You don't have to give me this game for free.
So I read the back of it, and I can't quote the back of the box, but I mean, it had these 4 warriors on an adventure to restore the light to the orbs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at all the pictures, and I'm like, okay, I had a vague memory of what Dragon Warrior was, and this kind of seemed like it was like Dragon Warrior. So I was like, this is what an RPG is. Maybe I'll try that out. So I put that in the maybe pile. So I keep looking through the games and I'll find anything else. So in my hands, I'm holding Terminator 2, Judgment Day for the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And there was a point in my life as a gamer that this was a fucking choice.
Yeah.
I was sweating like, oh man, which do I want?
Well, the obvious choice was to get Terminator.
The obvious one was because that movie is hot shit. But whatever judgment swayed over, I don't know why I decided, but I was like, maybe I'll try something I don't know anything about, and I'll pick Final Fantasy. Holy shit. I played that game for hours and hours on end for the next who knows how long until I beat it. Love that game. You could pick different classes. It was the first RPG that really brought more to the RPG table.
Yeah.
The fact you could pick classes.
The fact you had 4 whole letter blocks to put people's names.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for me.
How it showed the enemies on the screen, how it showed the visual effects were upgraded slightly. I mean, it was from what the Nintendo was, but the way you gained magic, the different place, the airship that you get, the
classes leveling up at the end.
You get a boat to sail around in. You fight pirates. You fight a Lich King. You fight a Kraken, a fucking dragon. You fight a war machine. So much about this is what really put a big fire underneath what RPGs are needing to become. And to this day, I can't, it's such a funny thing to me that at one point in my life, as hardcore as a fucking game lover today that I am, that there was a point in my life where I had these 2 games and was like, I just don't know. I just don't know.
Not quite sure which one.
Now, another funny thing is, about, a few years down the road, I used to also rent Nintendo games from a local gas station, and they would cycle in games every now and again, and they got Terminator 2, and I was like, now is time. Now is the time to go get this game and see what I've been missing out on. I took that motherfucker home.
It's the best game you ever fucking played.
Fucking waste of $2 rental. Oh my god!
Just went home and drew yourself a warm bath. Grabbed some razor blades and 13 reasons your whole fucking life away.
What a hot piece of shit this game was.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
I guess you lived.
If you can stomach turn-based gaming, if you can stomach 8-bit stuff, if you really want to get a good idea of not where RPGs started, because there were RPGs before Final Fantasy, but if you want to get an idea where the ideas started to come up, they were starting to elevate it, they were starting to bring it more into the light, this is where it started. This is where people say we want to add more to
the cool thing about the coolest thing about that was you could have 4 fucking white mages if you wanted.
Yeah.
You'd be really fucking stupid.
That's part of where the replay value comes in. It's like you
go through and you got 3 monks and a white mage. You got two monks and 1 thief and a fighter.
4 red mages.
Oh God.
But if I remember right, there was a warrior, there was a thief, a black mage, a red mage, white mage, and black mage. And I think that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think
so. Then all the classes doubled.
Yeah.
Like thief turned into ninja.
Yeah,
and
there were 6 starter classes, which turned into jobs later.
Yeah.
But that's where the replay value comes in, is you can take these different classes and make them any way you want. You could have a fighter, a warrior, a red mage, white mage, black mage if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You could have a white mage and 3 black mages. Have 3 fucking nuke machines and 1 person to heal them all. It's a big challenge. It's fun. It's just an all-around good game. They love cinematics too. Not to mention the bridge, that's a good one, but also the ending. like Jared said, is they say, yeah, this is where all the budget went, the way the end got spelled out.
Yep. That's also, fucking Japan for you.
Also, a lot of iconic tracks that you hear in Final Fantasy games today, that's where they started at. So, all around good game. Glad I got to play it at a young age, and if you can stomach these old 8-bit games, you should try it out.
I used to spend just hours playing that game.
Oh yeah.
It was so good.
This was also at a very unique time in my life because I was a very subjectable kid, and I had the first awesome RPG ever in my life. It was like, it was my birthday. I had pizza that day. I had got some I got Nickelodeon Gak and Nickelodeon Slime to play with.
Oh man.
Didn't even play with it. Sat on my bed. I made such a big fucking deal about, I want Nickelodeon Gak. I want that stuff. And they got it for me. I didn't even fucking play with it. Just played fucking Final Fantasy all day.
Didn't get to make the fart noises?
Nope.
Oh man.
Nope. I made such a huge deal about wanting some. I just want one. I don't even care what color it is, and they got it for me. And I was like,
pink.
Yeah, fuck that shit. I got Final Fantasy.
Hell yeah.
Moving on down the list. Let's see what else we got. I don't recognize any of these.
Flying shark.
There's a flying shark.
What the shit? Game over and Game Over 2.
I'm guessing Flying Shark is either a fighter game, like a pilot plane kind of game, or it is a shark that's flying. I'm hoping for the latter. That'd be awesome. They're like, yeah, we should test the boundaries of what people thought.
This is Sharknado before its time.
Yeah, I do see Game Over and Game Over 2 in the same year. I guess that franchise.
Motherfucking Galaga.
Yep, Galaga.
You go around, it's like Space Invaders. It's totally a knockoff of Space Invaders.
Totally.
But you could let that one little ship come down there and capture your ship. Mm-hmm. Then you go over there and you dust his ass before he gets all the way back, and your ship comes crumbling back. And then you have two ships.
Yep.
Because you link them up, and you're like, oh yeah, get fucked.
Cheating before cheating was a big deal.
That's right.
Also see Gauntlet, the Nintendo video game. You ever played the old Gauntlet? Any of the Gauntlets?
I think I have, yeah. Where they had like one where the thief would like bounce an arrow off the wall and just go around dungeon crawling the whole time.
Yeah. Gauntlet was a top-down, not necessarily an RPG, just more like a dungeon crawler.
Mm-hmm. Had RPG elements, but not heavy.
Had different classes you could play as. You had to find keys to open rooms, and you had to eat to restore health, like actual food. Find money and treasures and shit. That's what it was back in the day. Good shit. What else we got here? The Goonies 2.
Oh, yeah.
Not to be confused with the Goonies 1, the video game, which doesn't fucking exist that I know of.
Nope, it doesn't.
Goonies 1 is a movie. Goonies 2 is a Nintendo video game.
No. Which they made the Goonies 1 game in Japan, I think. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Quit pulling shit out of your ass.
No. That was some shit I thought. I think maybe. I'm not sure.
Goonies 2 wasn't that bad of a game. I mean, it was a side-scrolling, platformy type of game. Had some puzzle elements to it. Kind of had some Metroidvania stuff to it, where you had to find all the kids. You had to unlock areas and.
Let's talk about the real MVP on this list.
Oh yeah,
Graham Gooch's All-Star Cricket.
Graham Gooch's.
Graham Gooch.
All-Star Cricket.
Old Graham Gooch's.
All right, Graham. You need to be good at one sport in your life. Well, I really don't want my name to be out there for obvious reasons, so I'm going to stick with, and he throws a dart, cricket? Sure, cricket. I will be the best fucking cricket player there is.
What it was is he's like, all right, Graham, we're going to need you to be a fucking badass at a sport. And he's like, but I don't really want my name to be out there. And he's like, what fucking sport are you going to pick, Gooch? And he goes, and like a cricket goes, cricket, cricket. He goes, cricket.
He was like Batman, like that's what signaled him to
the cricket cave.
Gooch, the hero that cricket needs.
He's got a cricket computer and a fucking cricket car.
He's got the butler, but the butler doesn't fucking care about him at all.
The butler's like, Mr. Gooch, get the fuck out.
Mr. Jeeves, I need you to get me some tea. Fuck you, Gooch. Nobody loves you.
My parents are alive. What? Yeah.
Yeah, but you ran over your cat with your fucking cricket mobile, you dumb fuck. Why you gotta bring up these old wounds?
Oh, God.
Nobody likes cricket.
Rip.
He does his best. I don't see anything in the H's I like. I don't see anything.
How to be a complete bastard.
How to be a complete bastard.
What the fuck? Google this game right now.
Right now? Right
Google
now?
this game right the fuck now. I gotta know. You have to specify video game.
How to be a complete...
Because you'll just get a guy typing it into Google.
Wow. Yeah, it's a fucking video game, alright. Is it based off a book or something? I don't know. It's a 1986 book.
It's a book.
Yeah, we'll see that.
Did it have a video game? Well, yeah, this book was also turned into a video game for the Commodore 64, the Spectrum, and the Amistad CPC.
I have never. Giant Bomb did a review on it. I have never heard of this thing.
Wow.
Mom, Dad, there's a video game I want. I don't
be a complete bastard.
I don't know how to ask you for this game though. Come on, just tell me what you want. Nah. You promise not to get mad at me? Just shut up, Gooch, and tell me what the fucking game is.
Back to the cricket game. Hunt for Red October. You ever play that?
I did not. Have you?
I think I did. If I'm remembering correctly, it was a sub game.
Yeah, it was based off the movie.
Okay. It's either Hunt for Red October is either the game that I'm thinking of or it's not. But you would go around to the different stations on the submarine. Mm-hmm. Like you could look at the periscope and see if you see something. Cool. And then you could go over to the map and see where you were. Mm-hmm. And then you could go like drive the submarine and like shoot fucking missiles or the torpedoes or whatever.
So this is nothing like Skyrim at all?
Nothing.
Okay. Good.
Not even a little bit.
Good.
Except for the dragons.
There are dragons in Hunt for Red October?
And the Fusing.
Okay. Did the main character of Hunt for Red October, the video game, have to slice his hand open and drop blood into a pool so he could become part of the werewolf covenant?
Yes.
He did. Man, I should have.
It was kind of, I mean, I guess now that you mention it, they were kind of similar, but.
Jesus, I apparently missed this game. Why would anybody even play Skyrim? Just play Hunt for Red October, a 1987 video game.
Now, you can imagine all that in 8-bit graphics is pretty grotesque.
You know, you say that, but that's a hobby of a lot of people, is taking games from today and like 8-bitting them or 16-bitting them.
Oh, God.
It's pretty crazy how far it gets. Inspector Gadget and the Circus of Fear. Nope, don't know anything about it.
Jaws, the video game.
Jaws, the video game.
Beating a shark up with seashells, Volume 1.
Yep. No, I'd never even heard of this until AVGN started talking about it. I've also never played Jesus, Kyofu no Bio Monster.
You ever play The Karate Kid?
I did play The Karate Kid a couple times. I remember
you go through a little mini game where you catch the flies and you gotta break the ice.
Yes.
And you have to like dodge the little hammer thing.
Yes.
Yeah. And then between the levels they'd have like the little tournament and you'd go beat the fuck out of like some dude. Mm-hmm. And he'd be like, "Oh, look at me, I got a little red thing." Whap! And you hit him with the crane kick.
I played this game off and on now and then. I never beat it. I didn't play it enough to have fond memories of it, but yeah. The only karate style game that I remember is karate.
Mm-hmm. Kung Fu Kid?
Karnov. I played Karnov.
What?
No, I didn't play Karnov. I'm sorry. I'm a total liar.
That's right, you fucking liar.
I know what Karnov is, but I never played it. Kung Fu Kid? Nope. Never played it. Legacy of the Wizard. This is a very obscure one. You ever played this one?
Nope.
All right. This was a side-scroller RPG style. It's hard to say that. There was about 8 or 10 different characters you could play as, and they all had different attributes. They all had different weapons that they would use. Like the warrior would throw a sword. You had a barbarian that would throw an axe, I think. I'm totally fucking all this up. You could play as like a little dragon that would shoot out fire or something.
Mm-hmm.
Think Castlevania style gameplay, but with like a fantasy setting.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Same thing, kind of like Gauntlet. You went around and found keys, you could find potions, you could find loot and everything. It was a very obscure RPG, and I don't even know how I got it in my library, but I had it, played it, had a good time with it. I think I always got it glitched, either that or I couldn't get past the point. It had some of those things where you just like, I don't know where the fuck to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to get past this point.
And you just be fucked.
Nah, I'd just be fucked.
Alright, what's next? Little computer people. What the fuck?
The little computer people. I had no idea.
Leisure Suit Larry and the Land of the Loungers.
Well, here's the start of your Leisure Larry love, people.
Oh, man.
I guess.
This game's about fucking tricking bimbos and fucking you.
Yeah.
That's what that game was.
Yep.
There you go.
Mario Brothers 2. Now, I'm going to assume that this was Mario Brothers...
The Lost Levels.
No, I don't know now. Because I think Mario Brothers was different than Super Mario Brothers. I think Mario Brothers was the one where it had the pipes from the side. And the enemies would drop from the top. So this might be a sequel to that. We'd have to check this out.
Maybe.
But if it is, that's news to me. I didn't even know there was a sequel to Mario Brothers. Now you watch, there's gonna be like 7 of them. Hell yeah! But nobody knows about it because everybody knows Super Mario Brothers.
All right.
Megaman. Woo! Finally, we are here.
Motherfucking Mega Man.
The very first fucking Mega Man came out in 1987.
It came out in the year 20XX.
Yep. Which is a different canon universe than 20.
Actually, it didn't come out in 20XX. It came out in 2000X.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There was at least 2 different canon year styles. There's 200X and there's 20XX. I think 20XX was the Mega Man Zero universe.
Uh-huh.
And I think Mega Man either 6, 7, or 8 was also in that universe some fucking how.
Huh.
But X's universe and regular Mega Man was in a 200X, I believe. It's been a while since I did all that fact checking. Mega Man 1, regular Nintendo.
Fucking god awful art.
Now, yeah, negatives about this. No, positives about this game. Side-scrolling, shooter-ish style action. You go through these hard fucking levels. You kill enemies. You kill bosses. You get the boss's powers. At least one boss was very weak to that power, and you had to figure out what the weapon/boss puzzle was.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had boss levels where you had other enemies to fight, and you beat the game. This was a very simple formula, and it was repeated for close to 40-something games.
Yeah.
And I loved almost every single one of them. The negatives to Mega Man 1 was from the get-go, yes, the box art. How fucking horrible. And if I remember either reading or hearing somebody do a review about the box art, wasn't it like this guy was given like...
It was like this guy in like yellow and blue, and he had like a gun.
Well, they gave him, I want to say it was either a day or so, or it was hours.
Jesus.
And they were like, here's what the game's like. Bobbity boobity boobity. Now make a cover about this, go. And you have so much time. And it was like, he was just like, and just fucking scribbled this shit out and painted it.
What he did was step into that back room, open a portal to hell, and try what he saw. Okay.
Yes. If you don't understand, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to Google right now while you're listening to us, that'd be great.
If you're driving, then you're probably going to die.
Don't do that, because we don't recommend you dying. Please, not on our watch anyway. We'd have to call a cricket to come in and, not on my watch. His butler's like, why do you talk like that? You don't even have a deep voice. You're such an asshole, Cricket. Nobody likes you. Maybe I'll just go drive off a cliff.
It's like, good.
Good. So this game is about, and I don't remember the exact candidates, because Mega Man, I think Mega Man 3 started to making it, either Mega Man 2 or 3 made it different than the original. It was supposed to be a cyborg. It was supposed to be a boy that had like parts in him, or he was a full robot. He was just a straight fucking robot child, or a robot that looked like a child, you know. And he had a fucking blaster arm, and the blaster arm, it's like he like had a cannon as an arm, and that shoots out pellets. That's what his weapon was. The fucking box art was some
pistol.
Some guy with a fucked up wrist, and he's a fucking pistol.
Pull up the box art so we can fucking murder this real quick.
So if you were happen to look at the box art, you would automatically go, no, I don't want to try this out.
Oh God.
And then if you made it past the box art and actually played the game, you got your shit kicked in, because that game is fucking hard. Very, very hard.
I don't remember it being super hard, but I remember a couple of, like, I'd always go for Cutman first. He's always my go-to first boss that I'd kill. There's always an order.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there was some gimmicks too, like Elect Man's weapon. You could do like the pause trick with the Elect weapon. I think if like you shot him and then you either paused it or went to a menu or something, the damage would last. Something like that. It would
keep accumulating.
Yeah.
You cheating.
Arguably, Mega Man 1 is one of the hardest games one of the top 5 hardest in the series. But great. Fun game, and it was the first to start this whole style of Mega Man games. It's one of the good things that, with the exception to the games that were clearly different, like Mega Man X Command Mission, which was RPG style, Battle Network, which was also RPG / card based, Mega Man Kart Racing, Mega Man Soccer, with the exception of the ones that were clearly made to be different, Mega Man had a very strict, the same shit focus of every game, and it showed you that it showed you what it was like when you had an audience that said, don't fucking change.
Yeah.
Mega Man did what Sonic could not do. Mega Man did not fucking
change. He went
change.
fast.
Yeah. He could probably outrun him. I think a robot would eventually just keep running and Sonic would fucking die from fatigue. I think Mega Man would beat Sonic in the long run.
I think Mega Man beat Sonic at period. Full stop.
You think he'd just shoot him?
Full stop.
You think Mega Man could run faster than Sonic the Hedgehog?
I think he would walk the fucking dog on fucking Sonic.
Or walk the hedgehog.
Or walk the hedgehog.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hedgehogs shit when they run.
So do rabbits.
They shit when they run.
Yeah.
Constantly shit while they run. I don't know why you'd ever want to see a hedgehog run. Ever.
I don't know how we got on this.
They also go back, find the pellets, chew them up, and rub them on themselves. And nobody knows why.
Anyway, I think
nobody knows why.
I think Mega Man could beat Sonic in the long run. But I don't know about the short run. Like, how would he run faster than Sonic was faster than the speed of sound. I don't think Mega Man is that fast. Even with Mega Man X having the dash boots.
Pretty sure everybody has proven that Sonic is really, really slow.
Yeah.
Like standard Mario.
Yeah, Mario can beat him. Robotnik always beat him.
Yep. You're looking at somebody.
I don't know. Now, Mega Man could use the quick stopper and stop time, and could do that. Get a good head start. But I think Mega Man would beat Sonic in the long run.
I think Mega Man beat Sonic in the short run. And the reason I say that is he's got the time stop. So he goes, they blow the whistle and Sonic is like, ah, and he just goes, pop, pop, and he steals his speed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, all shitting while he's running really fast.
You and this Sonic shitting while he runs thing. Anyway, that's a long takeaway from Mega Man. It was a start to a formula that they kept the same formula. I think with Mega Man 2, every iteration of Mega Man past Mega Man 1, they always added something to it. Like Mega Man 2, they added the ability they added 2 more bosses. For one, they went from 6 bosses to 8 bosses. I believe Mega Man 2 also had, you didn't have Rush yet, but you had the platforms, the little items. Like you had one that turned into a platform that went up and down a wall.
Yeah.
You had like a Rush jet that flew across the screen. You have an equivalent to that. So, Mega Man 3, you had the ability to slide. That was cool. Mega Man 4 had Rush and had the ability to charge. So, Mega Man always kept the core formula of what it is the same. They just would add a new little feature, a new little gimmick, so to speak. But everything else stayed the same. So I loved it. I've always been a big Mega Man fan.
They kept that core gameplay, and that core gameplay, run to the right, kill shit.
Yep.
It was just, I think a Metroidvania game with Mega Man would be the logical progression. Yes. But we'll never see it.
Nope.
Rip.
Nope. Thanks, Keiji Inafune. I still love you.
Thanks, fucking Capcom, for not being Konami. Yeah. Speaking of Konami.
Fuck Konami. Oh, you see a Konami game next on the list? It's your favorite game.
It is. Metal Gear. Meow.
Confession to make, I never played the original Metal
You fucking piece of shit.
I'm sorry. Look, we've already had this discussion. You only played what you had available or what you could play today. I could never play this
You
game.
fucking fuck.
I'll
tell you, my confession is I never made it past the first level.
Well, then you can at least talk about it.
Yeah.
You played it.
You walk around, he goes, oh, I fell asleep. And you punch the dude. The dog comes after you and it eats you.
You punch dogs.
Rip. The end. That's the end of the game. I even had like the thing to get all the items.
Mm-hmm.
It did not fucking help.
The Game Genie.
I think it was I think it might have been a Game Genie. I had a Game Genie. Mm-hmm. I did have a Game Genie. I don't know if it was the Game Genie I used or if it was like a code.
Yeah.
But
maybe the Konami code. I don't know.
No, it wasn't the Konami code.
Oh, yeah.
But like, yeah, you get in these you go in the back of trucks and you walk, and the stealth elements were really rudimentary.
Yeah.
And coming from having never played a stealth game before, and me being like 9, maybe somewhere between 7 and fucking 12.
Yeah.
I was like, well, it wasn't 12 because Metal Gear came out around then, or Solid came out around then. Let's see. So I was between 10 and 7. No idea. No concept of stealth.
I would think a big issue for Metal Gear on the Nintendo would be like the vision box, like the way the hit boxes it'd be really rough to
and he had like this weird punch attack that didn't work very often, and it wasn't just a one-hit kill. Mm-hmm. So you're like punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of, and then the dogs came at you at weird angles.
Now here's another thing. This is oh god, I really don't want to get into a Metal Gear cast because Jesus. But was Metal Gear, was this one based off an arcade game? Was Metal Gear for an arcade, or did it start on this?
No, I think it started on this and the computer.
Now here's the biggest, what I'm getting at is, was this the first?
I think
the first.
I think this is the computer version.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, like, was Metal Gear
like it was based off like some kind of cop shit, but like that was like something Kojima had worked on before he did Metal Gear.
I think that was Police Knots.
Yeah, like
maybe that was later.
Psychonauts. He worked on Psychonauts for the PlayStation before he made the NES game.
But a lot of I guess this is one good positive thing to say about the Metal Gear Solid series and the Metal Gear series period, is that
it's confusing as fuck.
Good God, you're not lying. That's why I don't want to get into
Metal Gear timeline. It just takes Zelda and just puts it in the corner and says, "Watch this shit."
But at least, even though it's obscure, even though it's hard to understand at times, he does call back to all these old games.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, the last one that came out completely put a different spin on fucking the first 2 Metal Gear games for the NES.
Yeah.
I was like, oh god, if you avert your ears if you don't want to hear this horrible spoiler.
Yes, spoilers for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain.
Your main character, who is supposedly Big Boss, is actually not Big Boss. You are like a medic that was in the fucking chopper.
Yep.
And you got a facelift to make you look like Big Boss, and then you just started acting like it due to like psychotherapy or some shit.
Here's how they do it, though. I'm not trying to one up you. I'm just saying there's a level that people didn't understand how they pull this shit off. At the very beginning of the game, when this chopper bullshit explosion happens, and you start out in the hospital on the bed, the doctor turns like a mirror to you or whatever and shows you like, well, here's what you look like, and you get to recreate a character. It's rudimentary. It's very minimal, but you make a custom face for a character, and you're like, okay, cool. And then when you see yourself for the entirety of the game, that's not you. So the whole time, well, or maybe the action and the story may be so like, wow, what's going on, that you don't even think about it. But there's got to be times that you're thinking when you're playing this game, what was the point of me making that custom character?
I thought it was for the online mode.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, oh, I made a custom. Oh, that's pretty cool. They let you pick a custom character, but I'm only going to get to see that in online mode. I'll probably never play that online, so whatever. And then you beat the game, and it goes, oh, shit.
Yep. That was actually what your face looked like.
Yeah.
So, what ended up happening was they kicked it back all the way to the first Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm.
You remember how you killed Big Boss? You didn't kill Big Boss.
Nope.
You killed this guy.
You killed Joe Blow Newface.
You killed the fucking medic.
Yep. Actual Big Boss was out there doing the real fucking thing.
Yep. Well, I mean, you set up your own little base as fucking the medic dude, aka fake Big Boss, while real Big Boss set up fucking outer heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then he basically like, you know, Solid Snake comes in there and puts his dick in fucking the medic. That's what you do at the end of the first NES game. He goes, I fell in dick. And then you punch him like 6 times.
I felt in dick.
So,
I feel
that as you're going through this first Metal Gear game, you're actually killing off the main character of the 5th game.
Yep.
You know, just FYI, if you ever play this.
But sorry, I wish I had more to say about the original Metal Gear. I have never played it, not even for a little bit. So I guess it has its I mean, it's stealth espionage stuff. I guess I've never.
Do you ever play Maniac Mansion?
Maniac Mansion. I don't believe I did.
It was fucking awesome. It came out this year. You got different characters, and they all had little different strengths and weaknesses, and you just run up in this fucking mansion, old point-and-click adventure style.
Mm-hmm.
And you go in, like, the main room, and then the entire time the mansion's being patrolled by, like, these evil people. So you go in there, and you, like, find, like, a chainsaw, and you take the chainsaw, and you're picking up items as you're going through. And if they catch you, they'll put you in jail.
Mm-hmm.
So you only got X number of characters before they all end up in jail.
Right.
Well, it's a big puzzle. So you gotta go in this room, turn this thing on, go in here, do this thing, get captured, and then while this guy is taking, cause it's all happening in real time,
mm-hmm.
So while this guy's taking that original character back, you can grab this other character, run in there, go to this other place, do this other thing, etc., etc.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's a really, really fun game.
Huh.
And so you're running around doing all kinds of crazy shit. And, eventually your goal is to get captured, and you have the key to open up the cell block, and you can get to a different area of the mansion.
Right.
So, I mean, well, it's just a whole bunch of cool shit going on. You should watch, at the very least, look at footage of this game online. Mm-hmm. It's all done really well, and side-scrolling sprites and stuff like that. Oh, man.
Cool.
Really neat.
Another good addition to the 1987 roster. Moving down the list.
Milk Race.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure that's a Dead or Alive game.
Oh, yeah.
That was the precursor to beach volleyball.
Thank you for women's milk.
Mother's milk.
Mother's milk. God, that's now it makes me think of my best friend who tells me he didn't like Mad Max Fury Road, and I'm like, tell me some reasons why you thought this probably top 5 action movie of all fucking time you didn't like. This stupid premise, man. You got mother's milk comes from women. I'm like,
Where do you think it comes from? Men.
Mother's
milk comes from men. That's what my dad said.
I'm a crazy guy, and I spray this fucking silver paint on my mouth. Oh, I'm so crazy. I'm like, I swear.
Have you not watched any of the Mad Max films? Mother's milk infinitely outweighs father's milk. Just throwing that out there.
I don't know the volume of it.
No.
The volume of women's. Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah. You're right.
I'm upset that it took you this long.
For some reason, I thought you had said it the other way around, that father's milk outweighs mother's milk. I'm like, no.
Oh God,
no.
Father's milk is probably much more fun.
Speaking of mother's milk, moving right along the list to Mickey's Mousecapade. Because nothing screams Mickey Mouse more than mother's milk. Good warm mother's milk. Did you ever play Mickey Mousecapade?
That was the one where you had Mickey and Minnie,
yeah,
and you like tossed like stars or some shit.
Stars, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I think I did fuck around with this game.
Believe it or not, for a Mickey Mouse game, for a side-scrolling,
pretty standard platformer.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Had a good.
I remember that when they died, they'd both jump up simultaneously and Mario off the screen.
Yep.
Very
good game. Also came out in 1987. Moving up the list. Actually, down the list, man, we hit a lot of big key ones already. Hitting, Final Fantasy. Phantasy Star, the very first Phantasy Star, came out in 1987. I'm assuming on the Master System would probably be.
Yeah, probably.
And that was another thing in my lifetime that my initial console war was Nintendo Entertainment System versus the Sega Genesis. That was what I always knew it as, but I don't know if that's right, because the Master System came out before the Genesis.
Master System
was an 8-bit system.
Was fucking terrible.
Maybe that's why.
It was 8-bit, but it was like in a fucking Atari.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very bad.
It was bad.
So I see Phantasy Star. I'm assuming it came out for the Master System. I don't have any proof. I could look it up, but I'm too lazy.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Podcast over.
Yep. Podcast done. Holy shit. The Predator got its first video game in 1987. Never played it.
What?
I was scared to go play it. I don't know.
It's not what you think.
I would hate.
It's a Japanese game.
Yep.
Now it's exactly what you think.
Hey, Punch-Out for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, man.
All right. Now, here's another thing that requires distinction that I would have to look up, or I challenge the audience to look up and find out. There is a Punch-Out. There is also a Mike Tyson's
I'm pretty sure
Punch-Out.
that the previous year, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out came out. In the last one we did.
Was it?
Yep.
Well, maybe.
This is the re-release after he raped that chick.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They stripped the name from it because they didn't want... Oh, yeah. Way to go, Mike. You dick.
Fucking Mike. People named Mike, usually dicks. It's been my experience.
I don't know if we talked about it in excess last time, but I guess we can talk about Punch-Out again. I mean, well, I like the Punch-Out games.
Yeah.
I played the Punch-Out for Nintendo. I played the Super Punch-Out. I love Super Punch-Out. And the Wii game, just as good.
Yep. Punch-Out is one of those all-time classics.
Yeah.
It was the perfect mix of just, action and story, and you really felt like, every time was different. Mm-hmm. You were doing the same thing over and over again, but you were having fun.
Yep.
Each the fighters had a lot of character.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of, the game had a lot of soul, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you felt like Mac was getting stronger. Even when Mac was sitting there like all fucked up, in the game over screen where he's like sitting on the bench looking down, he is like cut to shit.
Oh yeah.
You can tell he's just like muscles bulging, and you're just like, man, this dude's total fucking badass. Yep. Let me play again. Yep. You know?
So for anybody that doesn't know, Punch Out, you hopefully you gather it from the name, is a boxing game. The idea is Little Mac is a boxer.
Yeah.
The gameplay is sort of over the shoulder, but more like behind the head. So you see Little Mac from his back, and then he's fighting a boxer in front of him. Mm-hmm. And you got a standard A punches with his right hand, B punches with his left hand. You can press down to duck down and dodge a hit. You can press left or right to dodge a hit. You can hold up and press a button for him to do, he can punch higher, like punch toward their head as opposed to like an abdomen punch. Mm-hmm. All the fighters that he goes up against, they all have little quirks. You have one guy that will fucking teleport around the room. You have a guy that's he's a big, gigantic, massive person. You punch him, he's like, it don't hurt me. I'm just a big ball of muscle meat.
Just a big fat monster.
And yeah, there's a story. It's all a little man trying to come up. I mean, his name is Little Man.
They had those little cool cutscenes between the rounds too, mm-hmm. where the other fighters would talk shit.
Yep.
And they'd be like, "I'm gonna fucking eat you." Rah! Where you need to go back and work on your blah blah blah.
I'm pretty sure he was, if not in their weight class, he was always outweighed. He was always out he was fighting champions,
Yeah.
And the idea was it's the underdog story of a Nintendo game.
It was basically Rocky in NES form. Yeah. And it was fucking awesome.
And not only do the gimmicks ante up every time you play a new fighter, but also the difficulty ramped up. So you felt, what it would be like coming up in the world of fighting. It gets harder and harder until you got to somebody like, Mr. Sandman or Mike Tyson, where it takes damn near immaculate fucking Twitch skills to beat this person.
Mm-hmm. You got like Bald Bull and King Hippo. Mm-hmm. You got Don Flamingo and Glass Joe. All these characters had so much personality, just from their intro theme to the way they talked to
the way they fight.
It was just wow.
A good example is Bald Bull. He had a move where he would jump all the way back to the back of the arena and just sit there. And then he would charge down the mat and come at you. And you had to time your hits just right. Otherwise, he would knock you out.
Well, you could dodge.
Yeah, you could dodge. Or if you time a hit just right, you could catch him in like the mid-third bounce. It would hit him just right and take all his energy out. He'd be like, oh! So,
yep.
Very good. Very good game. And it kind of, much like Megaman, this is a Nintendo property that had the same formula, and with every iteration, they just kept the formula there. They may have added some characters, they may have gave some characters some more flair, especially in the Wii Punch-Out, they added a lot of character to all these characters.
Mm-hmm. Mario made a appearance.
Yeah, Mario was the referee in the first one. Donkey Kong makes an appearance in the third one. He's like a secret boss type character. It's pretty good game, very good game. It's not the standard boxing fare. It's not like King of the Ring or anything like that. So it's more arcadey, very fun, very 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 well worth a playthrough. I don't see any cues here. Quester, I don't know what that is. R-Type. This is looks like the first R-Type ever to come out in 1987. This is for all you shmup fans out there. For those that don't know, shmup is for shoot 'em up. It's the classification of games where you have a ship. It could be a person, but the idea is you have a ship, and it's a side-scrolling from left to right.
It's like
a auto-scroller.
It's a horizontal shooter.
Horizontal shooter, yeah. Or some of them could also be a vertical shooter, like Raiden.
Yeah.
But this is another one of those. I've played R-Type 3 or 4, whichever. Super R-Type was probably what it was for the Super Nintendo. I was more of a Gradius fan. I wish I could tell you I've got a plethora library of shmups, because I get into those. I never played the first R-Type, so I really couldn't tell you. But if you like that type of, it's a style of gameplay to get into. My personal recommendation, if you want to get in these types of games and you got a PlayStation 2 lying around, pick up Gradius 5. The graphics, the music, everything in that game, that is a good place to start. You won't get that same feel when you play the Nintendo game.
No.
But
not even close.
Yeah. Still a good genre anyway.
Fucking Rambo.
You played Rambo?
I played Rambo.
Oh,
Rambo does not get a goddamn gun in this game. What? He has a knife. And you can run around stabbing snakes.
All he has is a knife.
He's got a knife. I think he gets grenades. Wow. Eventually, you pick them up or some
pistol, no rifle,
They drop you off in the jungle, and
rocket launcher.
One thing you think Rambo would have would be a gun, and he doesn't get one. So yeah, fuck that game.
Wow. That's sad. Oh man, still moving down the list. Hey, Rocky came out in 1987.
Wasn't as good as fucking the game that was very heavily influenced by it.
The movie was influenced by it?
No, the game, the Punch-Out was severely influenced by Rocky.
Oh, okay.
And it beat it in the video game market.
I get you now. Yeah, that's you're kind of topped in that area.
Yeah.
Don't need to challenge those. I see Shadowgate here for 1987. Never played the original. Couldn't talk about it. I wish I could. Shinobi video game came out in 1987.
Oh man, we flinging them throwing stars at people.
Yep. This is if you like the idea of Ninja Gaiden, just another Ninja Gaiden, side-scrolling guy with a sword and throwing stars. Not so much magic. I don't know.
All I remember is from Shinobi was like the arcade cabinet, and I just see people flinging stars constantly out. And I was like, oh god.
Yeah. I think
this was like a first-person perspective while they tried to jump at the screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you had to like fling the stars out, in such a way. Yeah, it was like you were trying to shoot them with the stars.
Well, now we're on two different fields then, because I don't remember that at all.
I think that's what I have to go to Google on this.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's bring it to the mat and see which one of us is right.
Yeah, because I do remember Shinobi being a side-scrolling, it's like Ninja Gaiden, maybe a little bit better graphics.
Shinobi, 1987. Oh yeah, let's see if it.
1879.
It came out right after the Civil War.
See on the Sega is what I see. See, side-scrolling. Now,
maybe you got me.
See, here's this.
Yes, and that's what I'm remembering.
I'm seeing what you're seeing on this one particular picture. Game 20 Shinobi. You know what? Here's what it is. It probably had that part in it. You know what I mean? That first person section may have been a section of the game.
Okay. So, yeah, the only experience I had was with an arcade cabinet watching it.
Yeah, that's what it is. So the majority of the game is side-scroller, action. He has a sword, throws ninja stars, but kind of like how Contra went from side-scroller to vertical scroller.
Mm-hmm. This one had little segments of first
section in it. That's actually pretty cool. I did not know that at all. That's very cool. First-person ninja star throwing back in 87. What do you know? The first person came a long way, man.
Yeah.
Came a long way. Short Circuit. I guess they made a video game about the movie, maybe.
Johnny Five is alive.
Let's go ahead and make a podcast and statement here. Short Circuit movie was kind of meh.
What?
No.
What?
You can't make that statement?
No. Short Circuit is the fucking greatest movie of all time.
I am Johnny Five. I'm alive.
Yes.
Yeah. I am Blank Man. See? Same thing. Same thing.
Fuck you.
Moving down the list.
I don't even know you anymore.
I just got Side Pocket. Hey, there's a pool game.
Yeah.
There you go. It's pool. It's a fucking
pool simulator.
Moving along.
Like the not drowning type of pool.
Holy shit. The Sonic Boom cartoon came out in 87.
What?
Look at that. Psych, it's a 1987 video game called Sonic Boom. Not to be confused with Sonic. At least I don't think
Star Wars.
Which one? Oh shit! Star Wars, the original Star Wars video game, 1987.
Star Trek came out that year too.
Sure
I wonder,
did,
is that the NES one that I played? Can you Google that one real quick?
Star Trek,
the Rebel Universe.
The Rebel.
But this was like a
Universe?
super serious Star Trek game with a shit ton of text.
That's so crazy to think that.
And it was like ultra well done, but it was like classic Star Trek, but you had to like think a lot about everything that was going on.
This looks like what you were describing here.
I'm not. This was about walking around on the ground.
Oh, okay. Because the pictures I'm seeing is like
this is all like
deck and.
So we don't need any deck pics.
Yeah, please send all your deck pics to Adam. Solely to Adam.
Damn.
He needs more deck pics in his life. I mean, I could try to just look up in general Star Trek NES game and see if maybe a screenshot looks familiar. If anybody even has.
So you can get rid of the Rebel.
Yeah, I guess I need to get rid
just
of
put Star Trek.
That's specific. That's a specific game that we're not looking up right now.
There we go.
There you go. Ultra Games presents Star Trek 1991.
Ooh, so yeah, that was a couple more years.
A couple more years ago, but yeah, there you go. That's good. It gets to solve that mystery real quick for you, though.
What do I see below? You go Star Wars, Star Wreck, awesome.
Star Fox?
Fucking Star Fox for the...
We are looking this up right now.
Star Fox, 1987. Now here's the thing.
You clearly see that there is not a space. It's not Star Fox. It's Star Fox.
Yes.
You
knew what you were getting.
No.
It's not necessarily an NES game.
That is true.
Type in 1987.
The date is what'll make it. But then the Super Nintendo wasn't out in 87.
Yeah, so it could come out for anything. There it is.
Okay, yeah, this is something totally.
This could be a computer game.
Yeah. Computer game. Huh. Well, you know what's crazy is I'm looking at some of these pictures and you can kind of see the similarity.
Those? I'm not saying Nintendo ripped this shit off.
Nintendo ripped something off.
But I'm kind of saying that Nintendo kind of ripped that shit off.
For all the listeners
like
out there, if
parody.
you want to do some fact grinding, check out a 1987 Star Fox, one word, and see if you can find some correlation. Like maybe Nintendo picked up this license.
It might be just a parody.
I don't think
like they took the original premise. I don't know what this game is about other than spaceships.
Yeah.
So it could be completely different, but what I'm thinking is they just put the Star Fox there and called it.
Yeah. I mean, that could be totally it. They might have saw this game and said, hey, we want to buy that. We're going to take that from you.
You're making it about an actual fox.
Put our Nintendo spin on it. Yeah. And then they had sperm everywhere. Everywhere. Father's milk. Under that, we got Spy Hunter 2. Nothing about it. No, that's not under that. We're way past that. Okay. Street Fighter. Video game. The original. Came out in 1987.
Oh, God. Oh no.
What?
You gotta type in 1987, you doofus.
I'm trying to do it the right way. I just can't write right. Street Fighter, the original. Yep, that looks.
Yep, there it is.
That looks 87, all right.
That's back when you could only pick Ryu.
Yeah, and
I think you could pick Ken, maybe.
It was either Ryu or Ken, or maybe it was
just
maybe
Ryu.
Multiplayer. You could only pick Ryu or Ken, and the single player was Ryu. But look, there's original appearance of Gen
this is before Sagat got that big scar across his chest.
Sagat was the boss of this game, wasn't he?
He was the boss, and then you gave him a big ass scar for being a bitch. Most of these characters died.
Yep, most of them long gone.
Most of them fucking died.
But yes, the originating series.
Because they couldn't shoot fireballs, and they didn't know what the hell they'd sign. They were just like regular dudes.
Yep.
They were like, let's go fight. You know, we can win some money or whatever in this world tournament, you know? And they're like pretty good fighters from whatever corner they crawled out. They didn't have the ability to shoot fucking fireballs, so they lost. Fucking cheating son of a bitch.
So the original game Street Fighter, which started the whole mega fighting game franchise.
I have played this arcade cabinet.
Did you?
Yep. And it wrecked my shit because the controls are so bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew I don't remember what, this was Kid Logic back in the day. This was Kid Rumor Patrol.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always under the impression that Street Fighter 2 was the first game because Street Fighter was like a book. That's what I had heard.
What?
Yeah, apparently Street Fighter 1 was so obscure.
When did this illusion go away?
Now, whenever I heard later down the road, probably, I would say probably in the early 90s. When I never saw this cabinet.
I want you to know that there was a Street Fighter game it was like Street Fighter 2010 or some shit like that. Yes. And it had Ken as a protagonist.
No.
Yes, it did.
Bet money.
Bet money.
I know the game you're talking about.
It had Ken as a protagonist, and he'd go around fucking people up.
Yeah, it's for Nintendo. Right? Right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Ken.
Who is it?
I don't know. It's some dude.
His name's Ken.
Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight, a Nintendo game released in Capcom in 1990.
Yeah, you just go ahead and keep reading that. Just go ahead and go back up there and keep reading that.
Does it say? The English localization of 2010 changes the name and backstory of the main character to imply that he was Ken from the original Street Fighter. Does that look
Rip.
Does that look
Rip.
like you?
Rip.
To imply.
That's right.
I could imply that he was a Joe Blow nobody.
So I played this game, all right, and I got fucking laughed out of my circle of friends.
What? Why?
Because I said, I played Street Fighter 2010. It's after, Ken wins the tournament and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, man, that's some bullshit. You ain't playing no fucking Street Fighter.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here, little kid. Because I told you I was the youngest of my friends. They're like, you don't have to lie to be cool.
You gotta lie to be cool, though.
And I was like, no, seriously, I did.
You were already cool. Now
it's
you're
like,
just
what?
a liar.
It's like a side scroller and you go around beating people up with punches and weird shit.
And they were like, quit making shit up.
Yeah, they were like, quit.
And they punched you.
They did.
Oh.
And I went home and cried.
Poor Widow Adam.
And then now I'm going to go back and kill them for that.
Whoa.
Kill them.
You can't say that shit on...
Kill them. Rip.
Down the list, I see Super Highlight, which has been torn apart by people, but I've never played it before. AVGN did a good cover on that one, too.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking liar. Superman, which I didn't even know a Superman game existed, but of course a Superman game would have to exist.
You ever played the Superman game for fucking...
Yes, we've talked about the 64 one.
Well, no, I'm talking about the NES version.
No.
It's actually a really good game.
Really?
I think when we were talking about the Superman 64 version, I told you about the NES version. He had access to all his powers, the heat vision, the fucking... Look it up.
Oh,
if we're looking stuff up, you might as well see it.
So are you telling me that
he could use like the ice breath? He was wounded by kryptonite. He ran around beating people up in a side scroller.
Mm-hmm.
It was
telling
pretty
me
good.
The NES version of Superman
was far superior.
It doesn't take much.
It didn't take much, but I mean, if you converted that to fucking, I don't know if it's this 1987 one.
Looks like it. I don't know if it's a Nintendo. Was it?
Yeah, it was Nintendo. There it is. That's it.
I guess
it looked fucking horrible.
It looks shit, but I see superpower and item power.
It showed the little superpower, and then you could see that little block in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a little block right there, and you could like hit a button and change what that was. Like you hit select or something, and that was the power that you had active. So when you hit the power button, it like used your heat vision, or it used your breath, or
Huh. That's pretty sad that a Nintendo game, even though it looked crappy,
here's the thing: you ran around as Clark Kent, and you had to jump into a phone booth to change into Superman.
Oh shit!
Go beat people up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Way to go, Nintendo!
Look,
back in the day.
Bottom left-hand corner. Yeah. Check that out.
Look at this shit. You are Clark Kent. I'll be damned as soon as a picture pops up that everybody else can't see.
Nope.
I'll be damned. Jesus, I just want to see the picture.
What is that, a picture for ants?
I guess.
Yeah, there's your Clark Kent.
There's a Clark Kent with a fucking pompadour.
There's the guy in the middle. Rip. I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Some Joe Blow. All right. Well, cool. Nintendo did it right back in the day and then completely fucked it up
later.
2 generations later.
When they had way more power.
Way more power. The possibilities were way, way larger.
And they had a fucking popular cartoon to base it off of.
Mm-hmm.
They just totally fucked it up.
We dropped the ball. We don't care. You still bought our system. Suck our dick.
Yep.
And you did?
I didn't.
Oh.
No, sir.
Oh, man. There was a Thundercats game.
Oh,
1987. Never played it.
Tinking on the moon.
Tinking on the moon.
That's 10 on the moon.
You got tinking out of 10.
I don't know. I saw a K there.
Where's your mind?
It's because
today?
of the word underneath it is Tobruk. So I just transferred the K up one line. I don't know.
Why would you?
Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't know my life. You don't know me.
Transformers: The Headmasters. Don't.
No! It was a much more innocent time. It was a much more innocent time.
Oh my goodness. To the W's, I see Wizardry 4. Wizardry is already in its 4th iteration in 1987.
That's right.
Wow. Wizard 4, The Return of Wordna. Wizards and Warriors. I think that was like a trilogy of Nintendo games.
Yeah.
Side-scrolling fantasy, beat 'em up, slash 'em up, sorta. Never played them though. Sorry.
Woody Pop.
Sure. You want to talk about Woody Paco and Woody Pop? You can always talk about Woody.
That's right. There's always room for Woody.
Buzz, look over there. Ah.
You ever played Xenophobe?
Yes, I did.
I played that. Yeah.
Yes, my older cousin had Xenophobe. And
wasn't that a Hudson Soft game?
I believe it was. I don't remember it being good at all.
I remember it having like a split screen.
Yes. You had like a status screen, so to speak. And it was left to right. Now, this was also left to right side scroller. I think the idea was you were going around a spaceship and there were aliens around.
I think it was Sunsoft. It was Sunsoft!
Sunsoft.
Oh, I'm a badass!
And you were trying to shoot aliens and, oh man.
Not get eaten by the aliens.
It was not.
I remember it being kind of like Spy vs. Spy.
I never played Spy vs. Spy, so I can't make the distinction.
Well, fuck you then.
I don't remember this game being good at all. I remember playing it, and I thought it was cool because it had aliens in it, but no. Oh man, the bottom of the list looks like we're done. Oh no, we're not done yet. Last game that I think we can talk about is Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. The Adventure of Link. He only
That's
had
right,
one.
he only had one.
He only had
Everybody
one.
gets one.
This game.
Even though this is the only Link that technically got 2.
Yep. Technically.
Technically, he got 2. So this is the same Link from the first game doing a second quest because, the second quest wasn't... He already had a second quest in the first game.
Yep.
But fuck him, right?
Well, and then
this is his third one, but it's actually the only one that counts.
Then the cycle continues, and then Nintendo itself comes up to you, little young Adam, and says, "Hey, little Adam," and you're like, "Hey, Nintendo." It's like, "Boy, have I got news for you." And you're like, "Tell me, Nintendo." And they're like, "You remember Zelda, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, I remember." It's like, "You remember the overhead view, and you had the sword, and you slashed the things, and you had to find stuff and go here and there, and you had the things that shot at you from the water, and you had the things that crawled around, and you went through the mountains and had the boulders that fell down, and you went to the dungeons."
Yeah.
Well, you don't get none of that.
Fuck me! Little me just jumps out the window. I'm on the first floor because I didn't have a 2-story house.
We are gonna psych you the fuck out because we're gonna have parts that have a sorta overworld view.
Yeah, we have a magic system this time, and you not well done.
So imagine you're in that overworld.
You got fucking
part.
MP.
Imagine you're in that overworld part, and you see an enemy coming up to you, and you're like, "How do I slash?" How do I attack? Oh, the screen changed. What?
What? No.
And then you go to this side scrolling, you're like, what the fuck?
Not only that, but it's really fucking hard.
Yes, very.
It's like unforgiving as shit.
The further you get, the more bullshit this game throws at you. Now, a positive for it is that, to a degree, it also sort of had a Metroidvania style to it. You had to go find different items to unlock areas, etc.
Yeah.
But my God, when you start
that's the main thing is people got overwhelmed by the difficulty.
If you beat this game as a child, cool for you. You are awesome. I did not. I always made it to a certain point. I think there was a point where you had to use a hammer to bash a boulder to get to a new area. Somewhere in that area, I always die because that game just goes into fucking overdrive.
Yeah.
Very, very hard. It does have some memorable...
And when you die, you start all the way over.
All the way over. It does have some memorable things in it, like it was the first time in Zelda canon that you fought a Shadow Link. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The problem is Shadow Link's a fucking asshole.
Well, he's easily defeated through cheese mechanics.
You cheese him, yeah. You could use magic again. You had different magic items you could use. You had a magic meter.
You had a spell called Spell.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. It was like, okay, I have spell.
Yeah.
Cool. It showed prostitution was a cool thing.
Yeah. That was the best part.
I think meme society took that over because I never got that as a kid.
I did.
I don't know what they were doing, but I thought maybe she was just using like some gypsy magic or shit and healing him.
Gypsy magic, huh? Sounds pretty racist. Just throwing that out there. You don't like gypsies?
No, I like Aladdin just fine.
Damn. He was a street rat.
I think even to this day, I've never had the inclination to go back and beat that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it has Zelda in the title and it got a gold cartridge as well, but I just never can mentally classify that one as a Zelda title. You know what I mean? I can go back and play the original Zelda and still get that feel, as old as it is. Zelda 2, it just doesn't strike that chord for me. So, there you go, folks. That's the 87 year in review. You know, I've been thinking.
So many good games came out that year.
Yep. Most notably fucking Final Fantasy. Man, if that.
Because fuck Megaman, right?
I'm getting to it. Most notably Final Fantasy. If you were lucky enough to have these games that we mentioned in our early childhood, Final Fantasy, Mega Man, Rambo,
yeah.
You were a very fortunate child. Another fun fact, I have never actually owned my own copy of Mega Man for the Nintendo. What? Here's the thing. There was one point in my life where I had access to it and I was denied.
How'd that happen?
My grandmother used to every once in a while we go to flea markets and like garage sales and whatnot. She was big on just going to buy little things from places.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to check out a garage sale today. Okay. And I went to this place. It was a big ass fucking double wire trailer that was smashed together, and they made their own little mini flea market.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking through all the things that grandparents look through, and guy was like, well, if you like video games, I got some Nintendo games right over there. I was like, meow. Checked it out and pulled out a fucking copy of Mega Man 1 in the box with the instruction manual, with the packaging. Awesome. And I was like, I need this. I need this game. And she was like, how much is it? It's $10. How much? This is $10 back in, I don't know, probably 93.
Back when $10 could buy you a fucking car.
Yes. She was like, I'm not buying that. I'm like,
a fucking car.
I've got to have this.
It's a car you
She's like, I'm not spending $10 on the game. You can
fuck
spend
the
$1
car.
and go rent it. I get it, Adam. Car fucking. Let's spend 20 seconds on this car fucking. You put your dick in the tailpipe, right?
No.
Oh, you're talking about a car that you
gas
fuck
tank.
in.
Gas tank.
In the gas tank.
You fuck in the gas tank. You fuck in the gas tank.
Okay, good.
You shove the girl in there, and you shove
go in
your dick
after her.
in. Just your dick. That's so nobody can find the body.
Are we done?
No.
Okay. More fucking with the car.
Moving on.
But yeah, and I mean, come on, folks. This is 2017. eBay has existed for several years now. I could just go online and buy me a copy. It'd be nice to have one just in a collection just to have it, but I've never, any time that I've played it, it's been through somebody else. I've never had my own copy. But the times that I have played it, that was my takeaway. It's in comparison to the other 6 classic Megamans, or 7 or 8 or 10 if you want to count all of them nowadays.
Yeah. There are so many of the. It's just all of the games that came. How many came out on Nintendo? Like 7 before they hit X.
Mega Man 1 through 6 were on the Nintendo. 7 was on the Super Nintendo. 8 was on the Sega Saturn, the PlayStation.
I think after Mega Man 4, I stopped playing them on the NES.
Hell of a place to stop at.
Mega Man 4, I played through to Mega Man 4, and then I went and I moved on to X.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see all of the one. I came back later. I remember at the time I was seeing like Mega Man fucking, all these other Mega Mans coming out still for like this system that I'd been gone from, and I was like,
yeah.
Well, I'm not.
I think
gonna
6 came out
that
at the very tail end of the NES life cycle. So, what's funny to me is that, alright, spoiler alert, Mega Man 4 is my favorite video game of all time.
Ruh-roh.
It has personal reasons. They're objectively better good games. This is a personal thing. But anytime that I hear people review Mega Man games or they wax nostalgia about the Mega Man series, they will gloss over 4. Now, 4 has some off things, like Toadman is one of the easiest bosses in Mega Man history. He literally, you shoot him, he jumps up over you. You shoot him, he jumps back over you. Baby, stupid simple. I get that. Mega Man 4 was the first Mega Man to had the Mega Buster, the ability to charge Mega Man's shot. That was awesome. And that's a big deal in the Mech series.
Yeah.
Every game after that. And that's where it started. But, yeah, Mega Man 1, 1987, woo, kick your teeth in hard.
Yeah.
Still a good year. Still a good year for games. I was thinking, man, there's gonna come to a point where we're gonna have a fuck ton of games to talk about. These are the easy years.
Yes.
Not to mention, these are the years that we're really having to scrape our memory banks and be like, oh yeah,
I remember this game.
I remember that game. I played it. That's about all I can tell you.
Oh my god. It's been like fucking 20 years since I played this shit. I think this was the name of it. Like Shinobi.
Mm-hmm.
I have this memory. They had a Shinobi arcade machine at the video store that I used to go to with my grandmother. And I looked over there and I saw it, and I watched these two, older kids play it. And all I could remember was them throwing the fucking stars.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only image I can conjure up off the screen.
Yep. I have a memory that I think I actually challenged a internet persona one time to help discover for me. His name was Big Bang Blitz. Used to watch his. He only has a few games. I think he live streams now. But I considered him like a mental encyclopedia of games, because he was that kind of person. You could be like, man, I remember this level where you do this, you shoot this, and he goes, oh yeah, it's this game for the Sega. It came out this year, and you're like, wow.
Whoa.
I remember being in an arcade game, and I remember there was a special power up. There was like a super move it was a side scroller, sort of like Ninja Scroll, sort of like Shinobi, but he had like the equivalent of like a bomb. Like a special, like, one-off that he could use, either by a meter or by having, like, a designated item to show that you have, like, 1, 2, or 3 of these.
Mm-hmm.
He would face the screen, he'd clap his hands together, and he'd be like, hi-ya! And you'd see all these, like, Chinese symbols appear in a circle around him, and then the screen would start exploding. That's the only thing I remember. And I don't know what game that was. I don't know the name of it. This was some obscure arcade game when I was visiting my cousin in Georgia back in fucking like 94 3.
I'm sitting here trying to think, and I can't think anything that's even similar.
Somebody thought that maybe it was a Shinobi game, or it could have been like a ripoff, kind of like a knockoff.
There were so many little shit arcade games. So many
knockoff games, man.
You know? It's like, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
If you could, question time, Adam.
Uh-oh.
You wasn't ready for this, were you?
I was not. Here we go. Oh, my God.
Like, yep, time to go ahead and call the podcast over. Oh, shit, I got to think now. If you could pick a game, a classic game, that it would get a retro remake to it, what game would you pick?
Fucking, is there any doubt that it would be Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger?
All right. Anyone but those two.
Okay. That makes it slightly harder.
Yeah, you need to actually think about one.
Oh, okay. A game that gets a retro remake.
Yeah,
River City Ransom.
Oh God. Okay. You know what? I bet that's already been done. That might have already been done.
If it has, I bet they'll be shelling out some money for my fucking.
Can you think of any other ones? Here's a better thing. Remake it, but remake it good. Like, add to it.
It's River City Ransom, not Retro City. My bad.
Retro City. Retro
City is a game.
Yeah.
It is not the same game.
River City Rampage.
It's River City Ransom, but yeah.
Remake. Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, they made an underground
Kickstarter. There's at least that. Oh, God. Fact checking is going to ruin our podcast.
It is.
It is. Because now we're looking and they can't see what we're looking at. Let's see. You know what? We can, I'll take that rule back. I think Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger both deserve a good remake.
Didn't Final Fantasy VI already get one?
Well,
didn't it come on like PlayStation or something back in the day?
No, it got.
Or was it the only one that got neglected because Square just loves to?
I think that one was more of a re-release.
I
think it had some. I think Final Fantasy VI did get released on the PlayStation. I think it came with like Final Fantasy VI and something else.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger together. It might have been.
Blam.
But
at the same time, games like that with sprites, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I would prefer to re-release something that's going to be noticeably improved.
Yes.
Let's see. How about... Let's go with...
What gets me is that they have games like...
Simon's Quest.
Simon's Quest. Oh, yes. Ooh, get like a Symphony of the Night remake look to it.
Oh, Symphony of the Night fucking system to it.
Yes, dude. That's
right.
Great. That would fit perfect.
And it's already Metroidvania.
Rework the dialogue, fix the kinks, but give it a Symphony of the Night graphical upgrade and a system upgrade.
Like give it like a 20-minute timer between day and night cycles.
Yeah. It wouldn't be that hard because, in Symphony of the Night, you can play as Richter, and he kind of looks like Simon.
And you're going around collecting all Dracula's pieces to put them back in a fucking pot.
Sound. Yeah.
Shitting everywhere.
You and this hedgehog shitting everywhere stuff.
You keep bringing up hedgehogs.
Poor Tails. Yeah, but the problem is every time I bring up a hedgehog, you can't immediately go to shit's running.
He shits while he's running.
Somebody tells me hedgehog, I immediately start thinking of Sonic. I don't start thinking of a fucking hedgehog shitting everywhere.
I'm just throwing it out there. Once you know that, you can't stop thinking about it. From now on, you're gonna be like Sonic shits everywhere. God damn it.
Poor Tails. He's worse off than we
You're
ever
lucky that
imagined.
it's not the fox that shits everywhere, else the fucking tail's spinning around the back.
That's what Tails' purpose is. He's the cutter.
Yep.
He just spins it.
It's just a spray of shit behind him as he runs, just fucking peppering all the little woodland creatures.
The tragedy of a Final Fantasy VI remaster or remake is that Square has already done this with Final Fantasy III. There's a game, I want to say it's for the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy DS, I believe, Nintendo DS.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a 3D remake of Final Fantasy III. That needs to happen with Final Fantasy VI. It also needs to happen with Chrono Trigger. The sad thing is, also, is that there was a Chrono Trigger remake. There was a what was the name of that game? It had an official title to it before it got shit canned.
Damn. That was a fan remake, I believe.
Yeah.
And that was Chrono Resurrection, I believe.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, and it got a little ways on.
Square
and
came
said,
in there.
No.
Square was like, "Oh no, that looks like a good remake." No, sir.
Can't have that.
No.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could see that one day. I don't know if.
So, what game would you remake?
Man, there's so many out there. I tell you what, I would do a damn good justice to all the Mega Man games. I'd take the Mega Man games and give them a 32-bit remake like
let's take Mega Man off the table because sprites are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But think of something that could make the leap into 3D and be awesome. Or get a massive overhaul in the sprites.
Damn, Metroid's already out of the picture because Nintendo was like, yeah, bro, we did that.
Yeah.
We did that gangbusters. Could always look at my... Ooh, do you think Suikoden could get a remake? No. I say no.
Don't touch it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, leave it be.
I mean, it could use one. A lot of those fucking cutscenes have not aged well.
If Suikoden 5 is any indication of what it would be, no thank you. Leave it just like it is.
Well, a lot of fans would disagree with you, but...
No, well, a lot of fans are fucking...
A lot of fans are fucking. Full
right
stop.
now, during our podcast.
Full stop, especially when they hear my voice.
Oh, man. So Mega Man games are off the table. I don't know if I'm a big enough fan of Metal Gear games for them to get a remake. Man, that's a tough one. Mario games, but they've already been redone severely.
Yeah.
So I would love to see a Star Fox game, but there is a new Star Fox game, and apparently the controls in it are absolute shite because they proprietarily had Wii U motion controls in it, and it does not work. And that's sad.
Oh, I can't believe they wrecked the game with their own gimmick.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to think of some good RPGs. There's Final Fantasy Tactics could use could do with a facial upgrade.
It got one with War of the Lions.
Did it?
For the PSP,
Did
yeah.
it get a graphical upgrade?
Well, it's sprite based. So once again, that hand drawn art, you're not gonna fuck with it. But it got they redid the translation, got rid of some weird, they got rid of some cool stuff and they got rid of some of the, like, one of the most badass lines was, don't blame me, blame yourself. Or God, as he's like dragging the princess out of the church. They changed that line in War of the Lions.
Shit.
So it's something, and they put like a ye old English spin on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, tis thine self or thine God who has wronged thee. Not I.
Does not have the same impact.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, fuck you.
Does not have the same impact.
Yeah. And they
That's
put like
not
little
as
cutscenes and
cold
shit.
as it should be.
Yeah. It's that, because I mean, he was telling this to like a priestess, know, like a lady of the church, like a nun or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, it's your fault or your God's.
Yep.
Don't fuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing to do with me.
Question, Adam.
Sure.
Design a good survival horror game. Go.
A good survival horror.
Today on Adam Makes a Game Corner.
Oh, God. All right. First things first. We need a good premise.
Okay.
So, what kind of premise do you want? Something scary.
Okay. You are in... think of a haunted mansion. Not a zombie style. A haunted thing. A demonically possessed or overrun mansion/hotel/building.
Okay. All right. So it starts off like this. You walk into a place and this is gonna be a RPG-esque type game. Okay. You're gonna be walking around in the first person perspective. You walk around, this mansion has X number of floors, X number of stuff. The whole building is open to you, with very few exceptions on locked doors and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So any place that would normally be accessible to a guest is accessible to a guest.
Okay.
You have a constantly ticking clock.
Mm-hmm.
So say like 20 minutes is an hour or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you go do all the stuff. Like you get there and like you're with your family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you go in there and they're like, oh, you know, don't forget to meet us for dinner at blah, 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 blah. You can go upstairs and put your stuff away. You know, I know you're pretty tired from this, you know, you should go take a shower or go fucking take a nap or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you go and you figure out a way to fuck off for X number of time. You come back down, have dinner with your family,
mm-hmm.
you know, and story progresses.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to go to those events.
Yeah.
You could just explore the mansion and look around in the rooms and see all the cool stuff. And like you could walk up to like a table or something like that, and you could press the action button and like it would say, hey, look, this figurine looks pretty old. I wonder where it's from.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little flair details like that as you're walking around. So there's lots of little stuff to look at in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's several floors to look at in the house too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're walking around in this place, and as time goes by, things start getting creepier
mm-hmm.
and creepier, and you become more and more isolated.
Mm-hmm.
And as time goes on, now I'm not saying that I'm the greatest story writer in the game, but every night, like, you're having weirder and weirder dreams,
mm-hmm.
and more weird things are happening, and you're trying to figure out what the fuck it is,
mm-hmm.
and you're discovering little plot details as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe you can't figure out whether or not it's you. Everyone else thinks you're crazy, but maybe it's them that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's me. Who knows? Mm-hmm. So you're sitting there going around, and all these little timed events are occurring.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, John's gonna go paint the fucking the roof or some shit. You know, can you give him a hand?
Mm-hmm.
Be there at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're there, you get to see the scene. Mm-hmm. If you're not there, a different event, the other event occurs, which
right.
is him doing it without you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And these all have consequences.
Mm-hmm. And
there'll be times where you either have a really constricted timeline, like you need to go here, 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 and here.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go, you know, or you can just say fuck it and not do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time, just weird shit's happening. Scary shit's happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the idea is that the story is what's important.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does, but now besides the point and click, what is the game? What is the survival horror aspect of it?
Well, the survival is going to be that this game has multiple endings.
Okay.
It's not. Did you want a game that was more like, oh God, I'm running from zombies?
No.
Is that what you wanted, or did you? I went with more of a horror genre game.
Yeah. I need to know what the consequences are. Like what are the what are the blockades in the game?
Okay. Say you were told to come to dinner one night.
Okay.
And you walked into the kitchen and you noticed that the cook is putting something weird in the food.
Okay.
And so, you know, you get to the dinner and they gives you a little choice. It's like, do you want to eat the soup? You know that motherfucker put some shit in the soup.
Do you want to say something?
But that option wasn't even there unless you went and saw this other event.
Ah, I like that.
See what I'm saying?
I like that.
So you have all these little events, and depending on your actions, you may or may not be, and it's going to take you several tries to get to work through all the little different things that are happening.
Right.
But maybe they're feeding you psychedelic drugs in the soup.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe, you know, that thing is keeping the demon at bay. Or maybe it's summoning the fucking demon. Who knows?
Right.
So I'm not saying I'm going to be able to write a really fucking awesome horror story for you right now.
Right.
But I can tell you the gameplay mechanics that will make this fucking thing come out and bite you and fucking never let go.
I like that.
As long as you have control over it and you feel like that you could have done something differently,
mm-hmm.
you know, Telltale game style.
Yeah.
You know, where you're going through and you're pretty much free to roam around and do what you want
mm-hmm.
within these parameters.
Mm-hmm. A good takeaway.
And it doesn't have to be Telltale games. What I'm saying is this is first-person perspective.
Right.
So you're free roaming.
Some takeaways from this that people should listen in on is that one, like I said from the get-go, this is not about zombies. So You need to disassociate yourself from survival horror equals zombies. That's one. You shouldn't do that anyways because there's games like, Silent Hill that have nothing to do with zombies, but I'm just making that...
You got little nurse zombies and weird shit like that.
I don't know if they were zombies.
And if they're not zombies, they're those just weird things, you know what I'm saying?
They're just abominations.
It's like the clickers aren't technically a zombie, but it's still a monster.
I need to play that, by the way. The Last of Us. I have that. I have it remastered.
Those are. I mean, but it's just a different zombie. To me, is what it is.
The point I'm getting at is just from scratching off some big typicals from the top of the list. This has nothing to do with zombies. It does have to do with demons. Demons, possessions, ghosts, paranormal, what have you. Also, he didn't say shit about you got to pick up ammo. You got to have a certain amount of ammo on you. You need to pick up weapons. You got a Uzi.
And there's more
fucking shotgun.
We could go in a completely different direction with this.
Because you could.
If you wanted more survival in there, let's change this up. And
here's what I think. I propose. There's a part, and only one part, where you do get a gun. We'll say like 4 chapters in, where you're starting to actually see shit. And you're like, fuck that. I'm going over to this place and get this gun. First time you shoot at it, it does nothing. And you drop the fucking gun because you immediately realize your gun's not going to help you in this situation.
Yeah.
That the
gun is now slowing you down.
That you trying to put these pieces together, like maybe in a grand scheme of things.
Did you ever play Clock Tower?
No, I know.
Have you ever heard of Clock Tower?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that is how you do survival horror correctly.
Yes.
You make one omnipotent fucking enemy, and you have him Jason his way through the fucking game.
Yep.
Okay, and you run from that.
Yeah. So you have a point in the game,
or you have several of these Jason type enemies.
Yeah. You have a point where you get a weapon, a projectile weapon. You use it, doesn't do a fucking bit of good. You drop the gun. You realize guns are not going to help you, and you don't go for guns anymore. Maybe an overarching goal in the game is that once you start piecing puzzles together, maybe you find notes from like a cult thing or whatever. Maybe you realize something one branch of the story could be you realize, yes, something has been summoned, and you're piecing together puzzles of how to banish that shit.
Yeah.
So your goal goes from I need to get a gun to, well, gun's not working.
I need to read.
Find a way to banish.
I need to figure out this book. I need to go talk to this fucking crazy person.
Exactly.
I need to figure out what this guy's doing between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. every day.
So
it becomes
no zombies, no guns. He also didn't say anything about picking up herbs or health packs or what.
Oh no, because if you're in that kind of a situation, you're probably already fucked.
Yep. This is more of a surviving your sanity, so to speak.
Correct.
Sort of like Amnesia a little bit. Yeah.
Well, it's not even with this one. The first suggestion is not even like Amnesia. It's more of a it's a story game where you make decisions. It's more Telltale than it is anything else. It's not Telltale. I don't want to say that it's going to be mechanic for mechanic, a Telltale game, but it is going to be I wonder what happened with that. You would have little things like, I wonder why she's acting so weird, or that's really not like her, or why is he being so mean to me?
Why did this one person say this one thing this one time that was way out of character, and then he drove on like they didn't say nothing different?
What the fuck was
meant
that?
Something.
You know?
Yeah.
Did I just hear something? Yeah, those kind of things are going to be popping up. But other than that, it's going to be you going, man, what's the next decision to make? And as far as dialogue goes, there'll be branching dialogue trees that you can go on, and conversations can play out good or bad. You only get one shot at them per playthrough. So you got to make sure you say the right things and ask the right questions, / have seen the right things to be able to know to ask the right questions. Because if you didn't see the guy put the shit in the soup, then you don't know there's anything wrong with the soup. You eat the fucking soup.
Yep.
So that's one type of game. The other type of game is where you have the omnipotent fucking horror badass. So you get trapped in a mansion, and there's, the scissor man equivalent guy chasing you through the mansion, and you're trying to figure out different ways to amnesia your way away from this big monster. I think Amnesia did a really great game on that. You could make the monster more or less visible, and depending on how you want to play the atmosphere. If you're going for jump scares and shit like that, nothing beats the slow openings of doors. And I really don't fucking want to go down into the dark basement, but I need to.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to, but I got to.
You know you got to.
So you do it.
Yep.
That they need to put you in those situations, but they don't need to have enemies just plentiful.
Yeah.
Enemies should be used sparingly and oftentimes not used, because for every jump scare that you actually do, you should have about 5 or 6 times where you go, this is going to be a jump scare, this is going to be a jump scare, it's going to be just go, oh, it's not a jump scare.
Yep.
Jump scare! Yeah, and then it gets you, you know? But you want it to really, and you kind of want that to be dynamic, so that it's not the same on the next playthrough.
Right.
So, you know, when you're looking at these kind of things, you really have to, you really just gotta make sure that you do it correctly.
Right.
And I really, really hate that most survival horror games have kind of devolved into puzzle.
Arcade shooter puzzly.
Super duper puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
Puzzle fucking, you know, we're gonna go around and shoot some zombies in this room, and once we clear the zombies, we're gonna take the fucking heart key and we're gonna go shove it up our ass.
I don't know what kind of door that
run around like Sonic, shitting all over the floor. That's what we're gonna do.
All right, folks. I think that's gonna do it for our episode today.
What?
Thank you all for listening. We've had a damn good time, especially that last little bit. I love Adam's Game Corner. There will be more. There's always more content with us. Thank you again if you listened to the last episode. We appreciate you sticking around for the 5-hour. We honestly didn't even know it was that long.
Oh,
I
no.
didn't know it was that long until I edited it and saw the 4:57 mark, and I was like, fucking run it, baby.
This is how we do.
Yep. Please, we're still in spread the word mode. We're slowly, and by slowly I mean we get like 2
really,
people a week
really slowly
gathering people. Like we get 2, maybe 3 new people a week at best. We don't care how many people. We love the growth period, but
200 years from now, we're gonna be big.
yeah.
You're on the ground floor.
When we are no longer here and our bones are
someday aliens will find these recordings and they will go, man, humans fucking suck.
Wow, you guys. Shit. No wonder you failed as a
all your psychotropes.
Oh God. Yeah, please help spread the word. If you know anybody that likes podcasts, or if they like video games, or a combination of both, let them know. We got a Facebook page. That's probably where you found the link to this. We got a Twitter. Still have not been twitted at. Nobody's twitted at me. Somebody needs to twit me. It'd be nice. Or twit the podcast. You don't have to twit me. Twit both of us.
I'll take your twit.
You can message us on the Facebook. You can send us a tweet. You can put a comment up. We love to read everything. We do read everything right now because we don't have hardly anything to read.
Yay.
If you want to send us an email, you can send us one at endoftimecast@gmail.com. That's endoftimecast@gmail.com. No funny spelling needed. We love to hear feedback. Love to hear any questions, comments. If you'd like to talk about anything in this episode or anything in general gaming related, we will respond. I guarantee.
We shall respond.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We will catch you next time. I'm Michael.
And I'm Adam.
Good night, everybody.
Bitches.